Chapter 1638. 1638. The 1638 Sky Demon was still divided in half. Then what should we do? Among the 60,000 people, a dozen middle-aged elders standing in the center said with extremely ugly expressions. They were the masters of the Life and Death Pill Academy and the Holy Item Forging Academy. Now we can't even protect ourselves. If you are worried about your own safety, you can stay here with us. We will protect you. Dark Eye Patriarch glanced at the two continent-level forces and said in a deep voice. However, Dark Eye Patriarch's words immediately made the masters' faces turn ugly. Protect us. We'll give you a huge amount of resources. Alright, if you two super forces don't need protection, you can directly inform your higher-ups and ask them to send experts to destroy the Dragon Phoenix Empire. That way we'll be very grateful to you. An old man from the Life and Death Pill Workshop wanted to say something, but he was immediately interrupted by the Wuxia Kingdom's king. This time, the one who suffered the greatest loss could be said to be the Wuxia Kingdom. Originally, they had been able to sit firmly on the fishing platform and hang high up. However, because of the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop, they had been dragged into the water. Now it was no longer up to them to go ashore. When the masters of the two major forces heard the indifferent words of the Wuxia King, their faces darkened. Then we won't disturb you anymore. Let's go back to the Life and Death Pill Academy. The masters of the Life and Death Pill Workshop left with angry faces. The masters of the Holy Item Forging Workshop hesitated for a moment before leaving as well. I don't believe that the Sky Demon dares to destroy our Life and Death Pill Academy and the Holy Item Forging Academy. The masters said with gloomy faces. As a continent-level faction, this was the first time they had been humiliated like this. Usually, even the three super factions were polite to them. Let's go back to Wuxia Empire now. Patriarch Dark Eye glanced at them and said in a deep voice. Why don't you go back to our southern royal family? Nanhuang Jianghu frowned and said immediately. You. The faces of the two patriarchs of the Wuxia Empire darkened. How about this? We will temporarily stay in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom and build a base in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom in the future. The Supreme Hierarch said from the side. At this moment he had restrained his arrogance a lot. The current solipsistic sect was weaker in front of both the Wuxia Empire and the Southern Royal Family. Not to mention the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. After he finished speaking, he looked at the mysterious and ancient ruins of the Divine Kingdom. If the solipsistic sect wanted to survive, they could only obtain huge opportunities in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. Alright, our Wuxia Empire represents the three superpowers and seeks peace with the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. Patriarch Dark Eye said with a dark expression. The Supreme Hierarch and the Southern Royal Family's two patriarchs nodded with a dark expression. The 60,000 experts dispersed. In less than an hour, the news of the expedition spread throughout the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. It spread to the entire vast region at a terrifying speed. The 120,000 experts of the vast region were defeated in the Flowing Sea region. Half of them were killed or injured. One patriarch of the Wuxia Empire perished. Sky Fiend resurrected and suppressed all the patriarchs of the vast region in an invincible manner. Patriarch Dark Patterns of the Wuxia Empire was killed on the spot. Our vast region was defeated. Sky Fiend and Dragon Phoenix Empire counterattacked the vast area. In the future, the Dragon Phoenix Empire will each occupy a spot in the vast area. One by one, news came from the people who had escaped from the war. One by one, the news completely blew up the entire Divine Kingdom ruins. In the beginning, everyone in the Divine Kingdom ruins had the same thoughts as the people in the North Stream Sea City. But when the news reached their ears, everyone's faces were filled with shock. Skyfiend was not dead, and he had even suppressed the patriarchs of the three superpowers. The entire vast region had fled in defeat, and Skyfiend and the Dragon Phoenix Empire had returned to attack the vast region. The Divine Kingdom's ruins were shaken. Everyone was shaken. Especially the news of Skyfiend's resurrection. Because of the Sky Demon, the vast region was in turmoil. Now, because of the Sky Demon, the entire vast region was in turmoil once again. It was very likely that because of the Sky Demon, the vast region would be changed. And the news of the three superpowers preparing to seek peace was also spread out. It made everyone open their mouths and were extremely shocked. The sky was really going to change. Wang Xian, Emperor Phoenix, the barbarian goddess, and the Wuxia Empire have sent news on behalf of the three superpowers. They want to make peace. Early the next morning, a group of higher-ups from the He clan and He Sui clan came over to report. Get them to prepare the conditions for making peace. Also, clan leader He, give us a share of the life and death sacred relic and the resources of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. Wang Xian said to them directly. Yes, yes. Brother Wang Xian, are you going? Clan leader He nodded with a smile and asked curiously. Of course I'm going to collect some interest. I haven't settled the grudge of them invading our Luhai region. Wang Xian smiled and flew straight into the sky. Emperor Phoenix, do you still need the help of the He clan and He Sui clan? The higher-ups of the He clan and He Sui clan asked immediately. No need. Oh right, tell the three major forces that we, the Dragon Phoenix Empire, want half of the territory in the vast area. Feng Wan said to them and followed closely behind Wang Xian. Half of the territory hiss. The vast area is over 1 million kilometers. If we take up half of it, the strength of the Dragon Phoenix Empire in the future. Everyone from the He clan and He Sui clan was shocked. Yesterday, Brother Wang Xian said that he wants to dominate the Transcendence continent. I wonder. At this moment, He Yuan, who was at the side, pursed his lips and looked at Wang Xian's figure with admiration. To have such a brother in one's life was truly a blessing that came from 8 lifetimes of cultivation. Brother Wang Xian is less than 30. He is less than 30 and is at the 9th level of the see-through void tier. In the future, the Dragon and Phoenix Empire will be the 6th great empire. The He clan leader said with certainty. They did not dare to imagine that he could dominate the supernatural continent. However, they were 80% confident that the Dragon and Phoenix Empire could be promoted to an empire. That was because there was an unprecedented person who was less than 30 years old at the 9th level of the profound void tier. It was destined that there would be no one in the future. Let's go. Our target is Tianyun City. In the sky, Lan Qingyue said to Xiaolan. Tianyun City was the base of the Life and Death Pill Academy and the Holy Item Forging Academy. The first place they wanted to go was to destroy this place. Woo woo. Little Blue swayed his terrifying body and disappeared under the respectful gazes of the He clan and He Sui clan. When Little Blue flew in the sky, he passed by many cities and instantly attracted everyone's attention. Tianyun City is right in front of us. The Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop are at their headquarters in the vast region. 5 hours later, Tianyun City appeared in their sight. Destroy everyone from the 2 major factions and seize all their pills and weapons. Wang Xian looked down at the cities below and gave an order. It's the Dragon King. All the powerhouses of the Dragon Palace and the Dragon and Phoenix Empire responded loudly immediately. Chapter 1639. 1639 The 1639 Heavenly Devil Realm was still divided into half. Kill? An earth-shaking voice filled with killing intent resounded above Tianyun City. More than 10,000 experts from the Dragon Phoenix Empire and the Dragon Palace flew down and dived down with killing intent. What's that? That giant beast is the giant beast of the wilderness goddess. That's the people from the Dragon Phoenix Empire. Why are they here? Didn't the experts from our vast area go to destroy them? Why are they here? When Xiaolan landed in the sky above Tianyun City and over 10,000 profound void realm experts swooped down, the entire Tianyun City trembled. Over 10,000 profound void realm experts? What kind of concept was that? There were only 20,000 profound void realm experts in the entire vast region. Now, over 10,000 of them had come to attack their city. It was simply overkill. Within Tianyun City, most people still did not know that the army from the vast region had returned in defeat. Damn it, the Sky Demon and Dragon Phoenix Empire really dare to attack us. It's over, it's over. They're crazy, they're crazy. At this moment, all the masters and experts from the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop revealed embarrassed expressions. They looked at the terrifying experts descending from the sky with shock and anger. They had thought that the other party would be afraid of life and death and holy items, but they hadn't expected that the other party would be so brazen and rampant. Everyone from the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Sacred Item Forging Workshop, die. A voice filled with killing intent sounded once again, and despair appeared on the faces of the people from the 2 large factions. The entire Tianyun City was filled with shock. They actually dared to kill the people from the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Sacred Item Forging Workshop. This was a terrifying force on the continent. However, the swords and blood made them understand that they were killing two forces on the continent today. Screams of agony rang out instantly. They were the headquarters of the two major forces. In the entire city, half of the people belonged to the two major forces. Blood flowed like a river and screams of agony couldn't be resolved. Wang Xian, Feng Yuan, and the rest stood on top of the city quietly, overlooking everything. An hour later the massacre ended. All the treasures of the two major forces were plundered clean. The target is the Wuxia Empire. Destroy 10 of their cities. In addition, send 10 teams of 100 people to see through the void. Destroy all the life and death pill workshops and holy item forging workshops in all the cities in the vast region. Wang Xian continued to give orders. Let's go to the Wuxia Empire. 100-man teams, come down from the city that Xiaolan is passing through. Feng Yuan and Lan Qingyue passed down the orders one by one. Woo woo. Xiaolan continued to fly. More than 10 hours later, the news of the destruction of Tianyun City and the life and death pill workshop and holy item forging workshop spread to the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. It reached the ears of the three superpowers. Those two are continent-level factions. The Dragon Phoenix Empire and Sky Demon have no scruples and directly destroyed them. This is crazy. I heard that the giant beasts are flying in the vast region. Sky Demon is leading a group of experts to wreak havoc. The three superpowers and experts in our vast region are all gathered here in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. They aren't taking any action at all. The current Sky Demon is wreaking havoc in the vast region with an invincible aura. Who dares to stop them? In the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, when they heard that Wang Xian and the rest had destroyed Tianyun City, all of them were filled with shock. They even dared to destroy two mainland-level forces. What else would they not dare to do? Has the news of the peace request been sent over? At this moment, in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, a patriarch of the Wuxia Empire heard the news of Tianyun City and asked with a gloomy face. Reporting to Patriarch, the news has already been sent over. It should be sent back very soon. A middle-aged man hurriedly replied as his forehead was covered in cold sweat. The 5 patriarchs had been sitting there for more than 10 hours without moving. They were waiting for all the news from the Dragon Phoenix Empire. The patriarchs of the 3 major factions would not be able to have peace for a day without being able to seek peace. Report. News has come from the He clan. Sky Fiend and Empress Dragon Phoenix said that if they want peace, they have to take out half of the territory in the vast area and add conditions for them to see. Not long after, news from the He clan came and reported to the 5 patriarchs. Half of the territory in the vast area. Upon hearing this, the 2 patriarchs of the Wuxia dynasty stood up with extremely ugly expressions. The territory of the Wuxia Empire only occupied 1/10 of the vast territory. Now, the Dragon and Phoenix Empire had asked for half of the vast territory. This made their faces extremely ugly. What a big appetite. Not only do they want half of the territory but they also want other conditions. The 2 patriarchs of the southern royal family said with heavy breaths, full of coldness. The entire room was silent as if it was a prehistoric beast. The middle-aged man who was kneeling on the ground was trembling violently. Time passed slowly. Reporting to Patriarch, 5 cities of our Wuxia Empire have been destroyed and all the treasures and resources have been plundered. More than 10 hours later, another piece of news arrived. Ping. The table beside Patriarch Dark Eye and another Patriarch dissipated into fragments. Give them half of the domain. Southern Emperor River said expressionlessly. His appetite is not limited to that. The Supreme Hierarch said with a sullen face. The 3 major factions will take out some resources and pass the news of the resources to them. In addition, get the Dragon Phoenix Empire and Sky Fiend Empire to come to the Divine Kingdom ruins. We will have a good discussion. Patriarch Dark Eye leaned back on his chair and said weakly. All right. Only the sect and the southern royal family agreed. There was nothing they could do if they did not agree. Since they could not beat them in a fight, they could only risk their lives. However, they cherished their lives and did not dare to risk their lives. They could only compromise. If you want a domain, I'll give you a domain. If you want something else, I'll give you something else. Send the news over. Time slowly passed. And at that moment, after 2 to 3 days, the Divine Kingdom ruins and the vast region had completely boiled over. Tianyun City had been destroyed. The life and death pill workshops and holy item forging workshops in all the cities in the vast region had been attacked by the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. 10 cities in the Wuxia Empire had already been plundered by the Dragon and Phoenix Empire and the Sky Demon Empire. What shocked them the most was that the three major forces had completely given up on resisting. Even when the cities of the Wuxia Empire were plundered, no one resisted or took revenge. The Sky Demon was wreaking havoc and all the forces in the vast region bowed their heads. Everyone could foresee that in the future, the position of the leader of the vast region would already belong to someone. Oh, did they agree? There are still some conditions. Wang Xian looked at the message sent by the He clan and the corner of his mouth curled up slightly. You want to get rid of us just by relying on these? It's not enough, is it? Feng Yuan looked at the conditions that they gave and a smile appeared on her face. Let's go to the ruins of the Divine Kingdom and have a good talk with them. Wang Xian stood in the sky and looked ahead. This piece of land was already under his feet. It wouldn't be long before the Dragon Palace officially stepped onto the stage of the history of the supernatural continent. A new page of history had quietly begun. Chapter 1640. 1640 was a foregone conclusion. In the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. The ruins of the Divine Kingdom today were completely different from before. In the sky above the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, tens of thousands of experts stood neatly in the air. They held weapons in their hands and stared coldly towards the east. Almost all the experts from the three superpowers had gathered together. Leading them were 5 elders. Everyone in the Divine Kingdom ruins below recognized the identities of these 5 elders at a glance. These 5 were the strongest experts in the vast region in the past. They held great power and could shake the entire region with a stomp of their feet. However, today they stood in the void expressionlessly as they stared ahead. Clearly they were waiting for someone. In the past, it would have been impossible for these 5 to stand in the air and wait for someone. But now they had already waited for half an hour. They still did not feel the slightest bit of impatience. The 3 great superpowers have completely bowed their heads this time. There's no other way. The Sky Demon is still alive, and it's said that one person can fight against 3 or 4 rank 9 profound void martial experts. This invincible stance, which power can withstand it? Now, the 3 super factions have to join forces to not be destroyed. Sky Demon, ever since it appeared, it has shocked the entire vast region. Now, it has already surpassed everyone in the vast region. Below, everyone in the Divine Kingdom ruins raised their heads to look at the 3 super factions in the sky. The super factions that were once glorious and could make 10 billion people grovel with a single sentence had now completely declined. All of this was because of the Sky Demon. Woo woo. At this moment, a whistling sound rang out. It was a unique sound that attracted everyone's attention. They're here. The savage goddess giant beast, Sky Demon and the others are here. When they heard this sound, everyone's gaze froze as they hurriedly looked towards the east. A giant figure quickly appeared in everyone's line of sight. At the front of the huge beast stood 3 figures. The youth in the lead was like a starlight that was emitting light. The Sky Demon is indeed not dead. Priest Wang is not dead. Back at the Cult of Self-Reliance, Priest Wang fought with the Cult of Self-Reliance because he saw the Cult of Self-Reliance kill 100,000 people because of him. Others say that Priest Wang is a Sky Demon, but back in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, Priest Wang was famous for his benevolence and benevolence, the Saint of Light. In terms of style, Priest Wang is much more benevolent than the 3 superpowers. Whispers rang out from the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. Many people in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom knew Wang Xian very well. The former Priest of Light, Priest Wang, had a great reputation. However, what everyone did not expect was that Priest Wang was a Sky Demon. Haha, my sect, the Southern Royal Family, and the Wuxia Empire have kept you waiting for a long time. Wang Xian stood on Shaolan and laughed out loud when he saw the 3 superpowers who were already waiting for him. We didn't wait for long either. Patriarch Dark Eye looked at Wang Xian and said faintly, "Cut the crap. If you want to make peace with us, you will have to pay a price. Show us your sincerity." Wang Xian swept his gaze across all of them and said coldly. His words made the 5 patriarchs' expressions turn ugly instantly. Sky Demon, even if the 3 of us join forces, we might not be afraid of you. The Supreme Headmaster clenched his arms tightly. His eyes were filled with fury. Don't talk about those useless things. Aren't you afraid of why we want peace? Feng Yuan looked at the supreme sect leader with some mockery. She didn't give him any face at all. According to the requirements of your Dragon and Phoenix Empire, half of the territory in the vast area belongs to you. Furthermore, this is the rest of the items that we have taken out. Nanhuang Jianghu immediately took over and threw a piece of paper at Wang Xian and the rest. The name of various items and resources was written on it. In the vast area we want to be close to the Barren Sea and the area near the North Flowing Sea. There are a total of 5,100 cities. In terms of items, we want all the life stones, life and death pill workshop and holy item forging workshop of the Solitaire sect to give all the resources of the Wuxia Empire to you. Don't think about hiding it. We know how many items they have given you to invite you to take action. In addition, we want the Inferno flowers in the domain of the Southern Royal Family. We want 10,000 of them and 1,000 of them above the Void Interpretation realm. Feng Yuan took the paper and looked at the conditions on it. What? The faces of the 5 patriarchs changed drastically. They stared at Feng Yuan with a gloomy face. Either you 3 superpowers join forces to fight against us, or you agree to this condition. Wang Xian stared at the 5 grandmasters of the 3 superpowers with a strong expression and said arrogantly. The atmosphere gradually turned solemn. All the experts of the 3 superpowers gripped their weapons nervously. If they didn't come to an agreement today, a war might ensue. Don't make us wait. The leaders of the Dragon Palace stared at the 3 superpowers wantonly. They were exuding a strong sense of confidence. The members of the Dragon Palace weren't afraid of war or anyone else. A powerful aura charged at them without any hesitation. This made all the experts of the 3 superpowers change their expressions. They had seen how terrifying the members of the Dragon Palace were. Okay, we agree. The 5 patriarchs looked at each other, gritted their teeth, and nodded. A wise man submits to circumstances. Clan leader he Sui, I'll have to trouble all of you for the transfer of resources. A faint smile appeared on Wang Xian's face as he spoke to the He clan and He Sui clan leaders behind him. All right. The clan leaders of the 2 clans nodded with a smile. Hiss, just like that, the division of the powers in the entire vast area has been decided. In the future, the Dragon Phoenix Empire will occupy half of this vast region. The sky in this vast region will completely change. There will only be 4 superpowers in this vast region. The other powers will have to rely on them. I reckon that the 3 superpowers will form an alliance in the future. Otherwise, the Dragon Phoenix Empire will destroy them sooner or later. The He clan and He Sui clan have obtained a huge opportunity this time. Below, when everyone in the Divine Kingdom ruins saw how a few words had determined the entire situation of the vast region, shock appeared on their faces. After this, the entire vast region would enter a new situation. In the future, when the 2 superpowers combined, there would be endless battles. Let's go. I hope everyone can give me some pointers in the vast region in the future. Ah. Wang Xian laughed maniacally. His face was filled with a domineering aura. Welcome, members of the Dragon Palace, to join our Dragon and Phoenix Empire. Feng Yuan also smiled and said softly. Woo woo. Chapter 1641. 1641 stepped onto the stage of the continent. Little Blue flew, slowly swaying her body as she flew towards the Dragon Phoenix Empire's domain. In this vast region, second-rate and first-rate powers no longer existed. Today, the agreement between the 3 superpowers and the Dragon Phoenix Empire could decide the fate of the entire region. The 3 superpowers had agreed to give half of the vast region's domain to the Dragon Phoenix Empire. As for the remaining cities and smaller powers, they didn't dare to have any objections. For the next period of time, the Dragon and Phoenix Empire only needed to control one city after another. In the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, the 3 superpowers and everyone below watched Wang Xian and the rest leave with shock and embarrassment on their faces. Xiao Xian, do you want to move the Dragon Palace to the Barren Sea? On Xiaolan, Lan Qingyue looked at Wang Xian and continued, the ferocious beasts and demonic beasts in the Barren Sea have basically been devoured by Xiaolan. The Sea of Desolation is located in the north of the vast region. It is not far from the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. There are more resources in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom than in the ocean. We can totally transfer the Dragon Palace here. Furthermore, the development of the Dragon Palace in the future will mainly be based on the forging workshop.
The profits from the forging workshop alone will enable the rapid development of the entire Dragon Palace. Wang Xian said to her. Lan Qingyue nodded. This time they had killed about 60,000 powerhouses in the vast region. Together with the resources they had, the members of the Dragon Palace would be able to receive a huge boost. In the future, the resources obtained from the forging of weapons by the Firehammer clan alone would be able to increase the number of void interpretation stage powerhouses in the Dragon Palace by more than 10 a day. Creating a 3rd or 4th level insightful void realm expert in 3 or 4 days was also possible. 1 or 2 years later, the Dragon Palace's strength would definitely be able to suppress the 3 super forces. The Dragon and Phoenix Empire's Imperial Palace will be moved to the vast region this time. The Flowing Sea region will be managed by the former Light Dragon Empire's Long family. Feng Yuan said from the side. Half of the vast region's territory was about 5 times the area of the Flowing Sea region. As for the resources, they weren't something the Flowing Sea region could compare to. Even a place like the Ladyboy Graveyard was not as good as the base of a first-rate force in the vast region. Furthermore, she had an even grander plan. That was, not long after the vast region was completely unified, the 6th great empire of the transcendental continent would be established. Such a grand feat might take thousands of years in Feng Yuan's original plan, but now she could complete it in less than 10 years after returning to the transcendental continent. It was all because of the man beside her. Feng Yuan looked at him and smiled. The Dragon and Phoenix Empire returned triumphantly. In the next half a year, the Dragon Palace moved and the Dragon and Phoenix Empire moved their capital. The Sea of Desolation was the largest ocean in the vast area. The ocean was connected to the main sea of the extraordinary continent, the Extraordinary Sea. In the Extraordinary Sea there was another area called the Dragon Sea. The Dragon Sea was the land of the dragon race. That area occupied a quarter of the Sea of Transcendence. Moreover, all the demon beasts in the Sea of Transcendence were under the control of the dragon race, or the dragon race was the king. The area of the Sea of Transcendence was equivalent to 5 to 6 Earths. The area of the 5 great empires added together was almost as big as the Sea of Transcendence. All the powerful demon beasts and fierce beasts in the Barren Sea were basically swallowed by Little Blue, which made the Barren Sea within 1,000,000 kilometers seem a bit desolate. At the bottom of the sea, which was more than 10,000 kilometers away from the Barren Sea, a huge dragon palace stood tens of thousands of meters deep in the sea. Within 150 kilometers of the Dragon Palace, there were many tall and sturdy guards patrolling around the Dragon Palace like divine weapons. Inside the Dragon Palace, there were spiritual herbs and trees that were emitting spiritual energy. Each of them would cause a huge fight if placed outside. In the Dragon Field, the warriors of the Dragon Palace were sparring. On the left was a group of mountains. In the mountains, thousands of members of the Firehammer clan were forging all kinds of weapons and equipment. At the front, the huge, majestic and beautiful Dragon King Palace was exuding endless majesty. Above the Dragon King's palace, Wang Xian was enjoying the pleasure of being with everyone. Ever since the matters in the vast region were resolved half a year ago and the Dragon Palace was relocated to the Dragon King's palace, everything was handed over to Prime Minister Jianghu to handle. Meanwhile, Wang Xian began to lead a licentious life. Ling Jian'er was found and her worries were completely resolved. Lan Qingyue was back, which made Wang Xian exceptionally happy. Every day he stayed in the Dragon King's bedroom with 8 girls for half a month. Every day he killed his way in and out and the sky was dark. Where is your Dragon King? Is he in the bedroom again? In the Dragon Palace, Feng Yuan entered the Dragon King's palace with a displeased expression and asked Prime Minister Gue. Yes, Emperor Feng. Our Dragon King and the Dragon Queen are in the bedroom. Prime Minister Gue smiled embarrassedly and didn't dare to offend Feng Yuan. As a Prime Minister Gue who was well versed in the human world, he naturally didn't dare to offend Feng Yuan as he thought that this Emperor Feng had unknowingly become their Dragon Queen. In the entire Dragon Palace, apart from the 8 Dragon Queens, 1 Emperor Feng and the eldest princess, he was considered the boss. Sister Feng Yuan, do you want me to call my brother? At this moment, Xiao Yu walked in with Feng Lingtian's arm on his arm and said with a smile. Feng Lingtian stood beside Xiao Yu and looked in the direction of the bedroom with envy. He was envious but he did not dare to. A bone dragon's wife was about to break his bones. In the past half a year he had obtained an enormous amount of resources. All the girls, including Xiao Yu, had reached the 7th level of the profound void martial stage.
they could fight against the 8th rank of the Profound Void martial stage. At the same time, Feng Lingtian could fight against the 8th rank of the Profound Void martial stage. Feng Yuan had given them the resources to help them improve their strength. Now that the Dragon Phoenix Empire controlled half of the territory of the Flowing Sea and the vast area, they had more profits than the Dragon Palace. A large part of Feng Yuan was used to cultivate experts. However, it was much more difficult to nurture other experts compared to Guan Shuqing and the rest. Guan Shuqing and the rest of the girls were able to raise their levels as long as they had the resources. Speaking of which, the group of girls could be considered an elder group of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. Go, there's something we need to talk to him about. Feng Yuan said with a dark expression. Every time she came to the Dragon Palace, Wang Xian would drag 8 girls and not come out of the bedroom. This made her very angry. What was in this guy's mind? Feng Yuan, what's the matter? Not long after, Wang Xian stretched his back and flew out. He flew over with a smile on his face. Get your men to help forge some weapons. Feng Yuan rolled her eyes at him when she saw his expression and said directly. Sure, just go to the Firehammer clan and give your orders. Wang Xian said with a smile. Chapter 1642. 1642 stepped onto the stage of the mainland. I want to get Duan Jinming to personally forge more than 100 defensive weapons at level 8 of the Void Interpretation stage. Feng Yuan said to Wang Xian. Aren't your people able to forge weapons at level 8 of the Void Interpretation stage? Wang Xian looked at Feng Yuan curiously. It's different. This time, it's a large-scale weapon that can pierce through the weapons of a level 7 Void Interpretation stage powerhouse. Feng Yuan shook her head. This kind of large-scale weapon is extremely complicated. Even a powerful forger from the Firelark clan wouldn't be able to forge it. Duan Jinming's forging standard is very strong. I want to find him to let him forge it. As she spoke, she passed a blueprint to Wang Xian. This kind of weapon? Wang Xian was slightly stunned. Looking at the large-scale weapon on the blueprint, a hint of surprise appeared on his face. This weapon was similar to a huge siege weapon that involved a formation. A huge weapon attack that could kill a 7th-level Profound Void martial artist was definitely a terrifying killing weapon. However, with the abilities of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan and the Phoenix clan, it was insufficient to forge this weapon. It was too complicated and required a high level of forging. The level of forging of the Phoenix weapon was much lower than the level of alchemy. Defensive equipment. If there are too many of them, they can threaten the 8th level of the Profound Void tier. However, this kind of weapon is not used by the Dragon Phoenix Empire but for the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. Feng Yuan said directly. What happened to the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan? Wang Xian asked Feng Yuan. In the battle against the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop, the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan has always been at a disadvantage. Right now, the Firelark clan can only passively defend. Feng Yuan frowned and said slowly. Is that so? I'll give the blueprint to Duan Jinming and see if he can forge it. Wang Xian revealed a hint of contemplation on his face and asked Prime Minister Jiui to call Duan Jinming over. Sister Feng Yuan. At this moment, a group of girls dressed luxuriously flew over from the bedroom. Every girl was an existence that could topple countries and cities. Especially their temperament. Even if they were called the Empress, no one would object. Each of them had a colorful charm. You guys still know that you have a sister like me? Feng Yuan glanced at the group of girls and said in disdain. Hee, of course I know. The group of girls blushed. Guan Shuqing immediately walked over and held her arm. Thinking about the past 6 months, it was indeed a little crazy. Especially in the beginning, it was very interesting. Even though Ling Jianer, who was cultivating the Heartless Sword principle, had fallen in love with Wang Xian. However, such a thing was something that she didn't dare to imagine in the past. However, there was a saying that went well. As time passed, love would develop. As time passed, it became absurd and shameless. Dragon King. At this moment, at the entrance of the Dragon King's palace, Duan Jinming walked over quickly and knelt on the ground. Jinming, get up. Wang Xian waved his arm and passed the blueprint directly to him. Can you see if the weapon on it can be forged? It's the Dragon King. Duan Jinming nodded immediately. As a slave-like race, he had become a respected and revered member of the Firehammer clan. Duan Jinming knew that everything was because of the existence of the Dragon King. Sure, but with my speed, I can only forge one piece a day at most. Duan Jinming nodded. Alright, Feng Yuan has the materials here. Forge it immediately. Wang Xian nodded. It's the Dragon King. Duan Jinming nodded immediately. He took the interspatial ring that Feng Yuan gave him and left immediately. Feng Yuan, Shu Qing, Qingyu, you girls, I have something to tell you. Wang Xian watched as Duan Jinming left and looked at Feng Yuan, Guan Shu Qing and the other girls. Huh? What is it? The girls were stunned and looked at him in astonishment. I'm going to the Firelark clan to head to the central continent. Wang Xian said directly. The central continent was the center of the entire supernatural continent. There were 5 empires there. There were powerful forces on the continent, terrifying sects, and families that had stood for 100,000 years. It was an idea that Wang Xian came up with not long ago to head to the territory of the central continent. Today Feng Yuan came over and talked about the Firelark clan. This made him completely certain. Currently he needed too many resources to upgrade his level. To reach the 5th level of the see-through void tier, he would need to consume at least 1 year's worth of resources accumulated by the Dragon Palace. Moreover, he wouldn't be able to live every day in his bedroom. When it was time to fight, he knew how to fight. The vast region had stabilized. In a year or two, the Dragon Phoenix Empire and the Dragon Palace would be able to subdue and destroy the 3 superpowers. When that time came, the vast region would be unified. And he wouldn't be able to stay in the Dragon Palace for a year or two. Furthermore, the current Dragon Palace and the Dragon Phoenix Empire were not 100% stable. The Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop had always been a problem in their hearts. With the strength of 2 mainland-level forces, even the Dragon Palace could be destroyed by them. Therefore, Wang Xian had already had an idea and made some preparations. You want to go out? When the group of girls heard Wang Xian's words, they cried out in surprise. All of them stared at him. Yeah, are you staying in the bedroom every day? Wang Xian smiled at the group of girls. Then go, hurry up and leave. Pay attention to your safety. Just come back in a month or 2. When the few girls saw his expression, they immediately waved their hands. Wang Xian was speechless. Wang Xian, are you really going out? Feng Yuan frowned and asked him. Yes, I've already thought of it. I'm going to the Firelark clan. I'm going to lead the Strange Demon clan to join the Firelark clan in the battle with the 2 major forces. It's best if I can destroy them. As Wang Xian spoke, a cold glint flashed across his eyes. It had always been the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop who wanted to destroy them. This time, he was prepared to take the initiative to make a move. He was going to the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan to deal with 2 continent-level forces. You want to participate in this war? This war has experts at the 9th rank of the Void Interpretation Realm and the Half-Step Longevity Realm making a move? Feng Yuan frowned and reminded him. Don't worry, unless the Longevity Realm makes a move, the Half-Step Longevity Realm won't be able to stop me. The Firelark clan should be in a great disadvantage now. If I go over, I can help them a little. Moreover, only by killing strong enemies will I be able to obtain more resources. Wang Xian's eyes sparkled. Even if they are injured, it won't be a loss if I can obtain a portion of the resources ahead of time. Wang Xian looked at them and continued. Xiao Xian, have you really made up your mind? Guan Shuqing and the other girls looked at him and asked with a frown. I've made up my mind. We will set off in the next 2 days. Wang Xian nodded his head. When it was time for a man to fight, he had to fight. It was only then that he took the first solid step on the journey to the Transcendental Continent. The following journey would be the true stage of the Transcendental Continent. They would compete with the continental forces that had existed for tens of thousands of years. Contending with powerful and brilliant sects. Contending with invincible empires for hegemony. Chapter 1643. 1643. The Firelark clan was in a difficult situation. Xiao Xian, be careful. This time it will be a year at most. You have to come back for us. Also, you have to remember not to mess around with other women. Otherwise, don't blame us for being rude. On the barren sea, Wang Xian stood in the sky. In front of him, a group of girls warned him. Don't worry. I went out this time just to become stronger. I have no other thoughts. Wang Xian assured them with a straight face. Ichimpich, remember what you said. The group of girls stared at him in disbelief. I'm leaving. Feng Wan, Qingyu, I'll leave this place to you guys. Wang Xian said to them. Don't worry, little Xian. Be careful. Lan Qingyue and Feng Wan nodded. Let's go. Wang Xian looked at the 500 strange demons behind him. With a move, he flew directly in the direction of the extraordinary sea. He only brought 500 strange demons with him on this expedition. These 500 strange demons were the strongest force in the Dragon Palace. Each of them was at least at the 5th level of the see-through realm. There were also some at the 6th level of the see-through realm. Including Ao Yao, there were also 10 of them. The corpses of 60,000 experts in the vast region and the resources paid by the 3 superpowers were mostly spent on them. The resources for the past half a month were also spent on the 500 strange demons. While flying in the sky, Wang Xian swept his gaze toward the north and revealed a smile. With Xiao Lan in the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, he wasn't worried at all. The life stone that he obtained from the solipsistic sect gave Xiao Lan a huge boost in her strength. Even Wang Xian thought that he was no match for Xiao Lan. With her in charge, it wouldn't be a problem even if he wasn't around. Once you step into the Sea of Transcendence, you will be considered to have truly stepped onto the stage of the mainland. Ao Yao, you guys enter the spirit storage bag first. Wang Xian looked at the endless sea and said to all the strange demons beside him. It's the Dragon King. Ao Yao nodded and immediately entered the storage spirit bag. Let's go. Wang Xian's figure moved and a formless yin-yang tai chi appeared under his feet. With a flash, he appeared 20 kilometers away. Another flash and another 20 kilometers. 20 kilometers. To him, flying only took about 10 seconds. Teleporting could only reduce the time by 10 seconds. Flying at full speed, Wang Xian flew towards the Sea of Transcendence at a terrifying speed. 2 kilometers per second. It would only take 3 days to cross the entire barren sea. The Sea of Transcendence is up ahead, and that is also the Central Continent region. The Central Continent region is as big as the other regions combined. There are more than 10 vast regions. The Draconid Empire occupies the east, the Aoshan Empire occupies the center, the 9 Gods Empire occupies the west, the 10,000 Demons Empire occupies the south, and the Phoenix Dynasty occupies the north wind. The 5 empires occupy 3/5 of the Central Continent's territory. The rest of the territories are occupied by other forces. The Fire Cloud Mountain of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan is not part of the 5 empires' territory. It is close to the Phoenix Dynasty. The Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop are also not part of the empire's territory. On the other hand, they are close to the 9 Gods Empire. Wang Xian looked ahead as information about the Central Continent appeared in his mind. Regardless of whether it was the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan, the Life and Death Pill Workshop or the Holy Item Forging Workshop, all of them belong to the top-tier powers below the Empire. The Longevity Realm experts were in charge of suppressing the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan for tens of thousands of years. The Fire Cloud Sparrow clan was once the personal guard of the Empress of the Phoenix Empire, the strongest personal guard of the Phoenix Empire. The Empress of the Phoenix Empire retreated to the Fire Cloud Mountain after her death. The Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop were not weak either. They had been standing on the Transcendent Continent for 70,000 to 80,000 years. They were the strongest pill and weapon workshop on the continent. They had a deep foundation and were extremely wealthy. According to the map in his mind, Wang Xian quickly flew towards the direction of the Fire Cloud Mountain. The Fire Cloud Mountain was a continuous mountain range. The mountain range was as long as 2,000 kilometers. Some of the fire elemental forces gathered in the surroundings with the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan as their backing. The continent is ahead. It should be the territory of the Phoenix Dynasty. After flying for 2 days, the continent appeared in Wang Xian's sight. He hesitated for a moment before flying towards the direction of the continent. At the very least, he needed to understand some information about the entire Central Continent region and the strongest place on the continent. There's a city ahead. After flying for 2 hours, a city appeared in his line of sight. It was a city with a radius of 100 kilometers. The city walls were not very high, but the layers of thick formations were obviously higher than the vast area. Wang Xian's body moved and landed on the ground. He walked quickly into the city. There were many ferocious beasts running around the city. With a glance, There were many level 5 or 6 extraordinary ferocious beast mounts. There were even quite a number of level 8 or 9 extraordinary ferocious beasts riding on them. The strength of any random remote city is no weaker than the strength of a medium-sized city in the vast region. Wang Xian thought to himself. He raised his head and looked at the city gate. The words Feng Dynasty Side City were carved on the top of the city gate. It was very lively inside the city. There were also many people. The overall strength of the people here was also slightly higher than the vast area. However, perhaps it was due to the remote city it was not much higher. Wang Xian walked past the city and bought a map. Then he continued to fly in the direction of Fiery Cloud Mountain. The arcane city of the Phoenix Dynasty is the closest to Fiery Cloud Mountain. It is also the border city of the Phoenix Dynasty. Wang Xian flew. According to the information on the map, a day later, a city that was 2 to 3 times bigger than the peaceful city appeared in his line of sight. This city belonged to a border city of the Phoenix Dynasty. I didn't expect the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan to be forced into such a situation. They actually requested for reinforcements from our Holy Fire clan. They are really declining. Back then, when the Empress failed to achieve Nirvana, the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan actually went into seclusion. If they didn't go into seclusion, how would the current Life and Death Pill Workshop and Holy Item Forging Workshop dare to provoke them? In my opinion, the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan is too arrogant. It's not good to be enemies with anyone. They just had to provoke the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop. Now they want us to make a move. No matter what, we are not the main force in their battle this time. Let's just let the disciples of our clan gain experience. Just when Wang Xian arrived at the entrance of the Arcane Art City, he saw a team of more than 1,000 people coming out of the city. The leaders were 2 old men. Wang Xian could tell their strength at a glance. 9th level of the Void Interpretation Stage. Behind them, half of them were Void Interpretation Stage powerhouses. At least 500 of them were Void Interpretation Stage powerhouses. In the middle of the team, a few young men were chatting with displeasure on their faces. The Holy Fire clan, the Firelark clan, has already reached the point of asking for help from others? It seems that their situation is not looking good. Wang Xian paused for a moment and revealed a look of surprise. The biggest trump card of the Firelark clan that dared to provoke the 2 major factions was that they had some connections with a powerful clan in the Phoenix Dynasty. This relationship was enough for them to come over and help the Firelark clan. Now it seemed that the Firelark clan had already used this relationship. From the looks of it, the other party did not seem to be very happy about it. Chapter 1644. 1644. The distinguished guests of the 1644 clan. The situation of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan was even more dangerous than what Feng Yuan understood. It should be that the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan doesn't want Feng Yuan to be so worried. For a subordinate to be able to do this, it can be said that he is extremely loyal and has no other intentions. Wang Xian sighed in his heart. After Feng Yuan was killed, they chose to go into seclusion directly. However, now that Feng Yuan had returned, they were willing to sacrifice their lives for the great cause of the Empress. Such a loyal race was rare. Looks like I can't waste any more time. Wang Xian thought to himself. With a move of his body, he turned around and flew in the direction of Fire Cloud Mountain. Bus. Everyone get on board. Take the 9 Gods airship and rush to Fire Cloud Sparrow Fire Cloud City. At this moment, a 100-meter-sized airship appeared in the sky above the Holy Fire race. The airship shimmered and emitted a powerful formation. Although the entire airship was small, it contained a terrifying amount of energy. The 9 Gods airship. Wang Xian looked over curiously. Bus. What a fast speed. When everyone from the Holy Fire clan entered the airship flew forward at a terrifying speed. This speed was not any slower than Wang Xian's. This should be the top-notch airship of the 9 God Empire. Wang Xian thought to himself. He stood there for a moment until the airship disappeared from his sight. Only then did he fly in the same direction. Fire Cloud Mountain was tens of thousands of kilometers away from here. It would take a few hours to reach it by flying. This is a completely destroyed city. As Wang Xian flew in the sky, he realized that there were destroyed cities below. The gigantic cities were completely in ruins. In the cities, the fresh blood had dried up long ago. Some of the corpses had rotted away. After passing through 2 to 3 cities consecutively, they were all in ruins. There were also some people in the ruins of some cities. The entire area was abnormally tragic. We're here. After 6 hours, numerous incomparably huge flaming mountains appeared in sight. In front of the flaming mountains, there was an incomparably huge city that was over 100 kilometers away. It was built with fiery red rocks, and the entire city was completely enveloped in flames. In the sky, over a dozen flaming skylarks that had spread their wings and were over 10 meters in size were circling in the sky. Each fire lark was exuding a violent aura. They were at least at the 8th level of the see-through realm. At this moment, the entire city was completely sealed off. This was the first city that Wang Xian had seen that had not been destroyed. At this moment, a group of people was floating in front of the city. Wang Xian looked over. They were the members of the Holy Fire Clan. He hesitated for a moment before flying directly to the city gate. What are these people from the Fire Lark clan doing? Why aren't we opening the city gate immediately? They still need to confirm our identities. How troublesome. We are here to help them. Impatient voices could be heard. Boom, boom, boom. At this moment, the sound of the gate opening could be heard. More than a dozen old men and women dressed in fiery red robes walked over hurriedly. Everyone from the Sacred Flame clan is truly sorry. Because the masked assassin organization infiltrated Fire Cloud City 2 days ago and killed many of our members, we had no choice but to close the city. We have also gone through strict checks on all those who entered. We are truly sorry. An old man walked over and immediately spoke to everyone from the Sacred Flame clan with an apologetic expression. All right, let us go in. These people from our Sacred Fire clan are here temporarily. In a while there will be another 500 insightful Emptiness Realm experts. The elder at the front of the Sacred Fire clan said plainly. All right, everyone from the Sacred Fire clan, please come in. The elder from the Fire Lark clan frowned slightly and gestured. Who is he? At this moment, a faint voice sounded from the back of the Sacred Fire clan. A young man stared at Wang Xian who was standing at the side and sized him up from head to toe. Huh? As soon as the young man spoke, the experts from the Fire Lark tribe immediately looked over. Their fiery red eyes locked onto Wang Xian. Everyone, I'm Wang Xian. I'm here to support the Fire Lark tribe. Wang Xian saw the experts from the Fire Lark tribe staring at him. He smiled and took a few steps forward. At the same time, he took out a token from his interspatial ring. A young lad came to support the Fire Sparrows? What a joke. The young man who was sizing up Wang Xian was slightly stunned when he heard his words. Then he said with a smile. This is. However, the elder at the front of the Fire Sparrows stared at the fiery red token and was slightly shocked. Young master, please come in. The elder bowed slightly with a hint of respect on his face. He immediately walked to Wang Xian's side and said to him. What do you mean? The 2 experts of the Holy Fire clan who were at level 9 of the see-through realm, were slightly stunned when they saw the elder greeting Wang Xian respectfully. They frowned slowly. Bring everyone from the Holy Fire clan into the Fire Cloud Hall. Young master, this way please. The old man said to the other experts of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan and led Wang Xian into the hall. Wang Xian smiled and followed closely from the side. Since he had come to the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan, it was natural for the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan to recognize him. He had a token given to him by Feng Yuan in his hand. It was called the Fire Cloud Token. Other than the patriarch of the Guardian clan who did not need to treat him with respect, everyone else who held this token had to treat him with respect. It could be said that this token represented the arrival of their patriarch of the Guardian clan. This old man, please inform your patriarch of the Fire Cloud clan that I, Wang Xian, am here. Wang Xian entered the city and scanned his surroundings before speaking to the old man directly. Fire Cloud City was located on top of a volcano. The temperature of the entire city was extremely high. It was a holy land for fire attribute cultivators. Young Master Wang, why don't you wait in the Fire Cloud Hall? I will inform the patriarch. When the old man heard Wang Xian call their patriarch by his name, his heart trembled. If Wang Xian didn't have the Fire Cloud token in his hand and just called their patriarch by his name, he would have taken action immediately. Okay, sure. Wang Xian nodded his head and followed the old man to the back of the Fire Cloud City. Young Master Wang, please take a seat. I will inform the patriarch immediately. The old man brought Wang Xian to the huge Fire Cloud Palace and pointed at the front seat. Okay. Wang Xian nodded his head. One by one the maids came over and poured a cup of tea. Fiery Light, where are you going? Aren't you the one who welcomed the experts of the Sacred Fire Clan? There's a young Master Wang named Wang Xian who has the Fire Cloud token in his hand. He wants to see the Patriarch now. I'll go to the Fire Cloud Mountain Palace to report to the Patriarch. What? Fire Cloud token? Fiery Light, stay here with this young Master Wang. We'll go and inform the Patriarch. Wang Xian picked up the teacup and heard the exclamations from outside. Soon after he saw the old man walking over again. Young Master Wang, our elder will inform the Patriarch. I will wait here with you. Fiery Light smiled as he spoke to Wang Xian. Chapter 1645. 1645. Among the distinguished guests of the 1645 clan, Wang Xian nodded his head and sat there quietly. It was obvious that this elder named Fiery Light didn't know his identity. It was also possible that he didn't know that their empress was still alive. Clap, clap, clap. At this moment, a group of more than 1,000 people walked in from the entrance of the Fire Cloud Hall. Everyone from the Sacred Fire Clan, please take a seat at the side. Our clan elder will be here soon. Upon seeing their arrival, Fiery Light hurriedly greeted them. I say, we are from the Firelark clan. We are here to help you. Why didn't you prepare to welcome us in advance? The two elders who were walking in front revealed displeased expressions as they spoke to Fiery Light directly. I'm sorry everyone. Please wait for a moment. We will be here soon. Please take a seat. Fiery Light pointed at the seat behind Wang Xian with a smile and gestured. Are you asking our elders to sit behind a young man? What is the meaning of this? Some of the middle-aged men from the Sacred Flame clan were slightly stunned when they saw Fiery Light asking their two elders to sit behind him. One of them frowned and spoke directly. They were here to help the Sacred Flame clan. Now a random kid came over and was treated better than them. What was the meaning of this? Were they looking down on them? No need, we'll just stand here. A hint of displeasure flashed through the eyes of the two elders of the Sacred Flame clan as they replied coldly. Fiery Light pursed his lips and didn't speak. It wasn't that they didn't welcome him warmly, but that an even more mysterious guest had arrived. Seeing that Fiery Light didn't speak anymore, the expressions of the Sacred Flame clan's members became even more unsightly. Some of the Sacred Fire clan members whispered to each other with displeased expressions. Boom. 10 minutes later, just as the Sacred Fire clan members were feeling impatient, a special fluctuation suddenly appeared. Everyone in the Fire Cloud Hall was slightly startled, and the Sacred Fire clan members hurriedly shut their mouths. Buzz. Over 10 figures appeared in the middle of the hall. When the two elders of the Sacred Fire clan saw this person, they were shocked and revealed a faint smile on their faces. The Patriarch of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan had personally welcomed them. It could be considered as giving them enough face. All the displeasure from before had disappeared. Elder Fire Cloud. I didn't expect young Master Wang to come. Before the rock, please welcome everyone from the Sacred Fire clan. Young Master Wang, let's talk inside. Patriarch Fengyun turned towards Wang Xian. All right. Wang Xian nodded and took 2 steps towards Fengyun's position. Let's go. Fengyun nodded. With a wave of her arm, she brought Wang Xian and disappeared into the Fire Cloud Hall. The two elders from the Sacred Fire clan were stunned. They didn't even greet Wang Xian. The rest of the members from the Sacred Fire clan were even more stunned. Patriarch Fire Cloud wasn't here to welcome them, but that youth. What was that youth's identity? Brothers of the Sacred Fire clan, thank you for your support this time. At this moment, the only elder of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan who remained thanked everyone from the Sacred Fire clan. His words made the faces of everyone from the Sacred Fire clan turn ugly. Any random young man could make Patriarch Fire Cloud come over personally to receive them. And they, on the other hand, were abnormally cold towards him. They were from the Sacred Fire clan of the Phoenix Dynasty, the founding general clan of the Phoenix Dynasty. Now they came over to help them, yet they received such treatment. This made everyone from the Sacred Fire clan slightly indignant. I wonder who that young man was, to actually be able to make Patriarch Fire Cloud personally receive him. The two elders of the Sacred Fire clan asked coldly with gloomy faces. Huoyan was slightly stunned before shaking his head. I don't know either. Our Fire Cloud Sparrow clan has already prepared a feast to entertain everyone. Young Master Wang. Greetings, young Master Wang. At this moment, 50 kilometers away, in a Fire Cloud Palace on Fire Cloud Mountain. This Fire Cloud Palace was the core of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. Anyone who could enter this place must be a member of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. In a room that was not very big, Feng Yun bowed respectfully to Wang Xian. More than a dozen figures beside her bowed directly to show their respect. Among them, 5 of them had already reached the half-step realm of longevity. However, at this moment, all of them were staring at Wang Xian with fervent eyes. As the core elders of the Firelark clan, they were naturally very clear about the Empress's matters. Especially the Dragon and Phoenix Empire that the Empress had established, it made them feel extremely excited. Why did their Firelark clan fight to the death with the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop? Wasn't it because of the Empress's foundation? Even if they had to die, they wouldn't hesitate. And this young man in front of them was the Empress's strongest pillar of support. Even the Firelark clan couldn't help the Empress reach this step so quickly. In just 4 years they helped the Empress establish a dynasty and empire, reaching the point where she could dominate the vast region. Even if this person in front of them was not as strong as them, they would not hesitate to ask them to kneel down. Moreover, from their point of view, this young Master Wang was very terrifying. 4 years ago, they learned that this young Master Wang's strength was only at the extraordinary realm. Now he was at the 9th level of the see-through void tier. It was probably only a matter of time before longevity in front of this young Master Wang. You don't have to be so polite. Wang Xian smiled slightly when he saw their respectful expressions. Young Master Wang, please take a seat. Feng Yun pointed at the main seat in the middle and said to Wang Xian. Haha, I can't take up this position yet. Let's wait for a while. Senior Feng Yun, please take a seat. Wang Xian sat at the side and said to Feng Yun, Senior Feng Yun, the main reason why I'm here is for the matter of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. Can you tell me about the current situation of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan? Yes, all right. Feng Yun nodded and sat on the main seat. The current situation is not good for our Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. Especially the Sacred Fire clan, which has caused our Fire Cloud Sparrow clan to be in a passive and dangerous situation. Feng Yun frowned. The Sacred Fire clan? Wang Xian looked at Feng Yun, who he had met 4 years ago. She looked much older now and asked in puzzlement. That's right, the Sacred Fire clan. Feng Yun nodded. Back then, the reason why our Fire Cloud Sparrow clan dared to fight against the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Forging Workshop of the Sacred Items was because of the Sacred Fire clan. Our Fire Cloud Sparrow clan was the protector of the Empress of the Phoenix dynasty at that time. The Sacred Fire clan was the founding general of the Phoenix dynasty. Once, when I was fighting with the Empress, I saved the life of the Patriarch of the Sacred Fire clan, as well as the lives of many members of the Sacred Fire clan. She once said that she owed me a life, and our relationship was quite good. She is still the founding general of the Phoenix dynasty. If this crisis were to happen, she would be willing to take action. With the influence of the Phoenix dynasty, the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop wouldn't dare to kill us. Chapter 1646. 1646 1646 Clans Distinguished Guests. Feng Yun was talking at the side while Wang Xian listened by the side. He frowned slightly. When Feng Yun was with the Empress, she had saved the life of the Sacred Fire clan's patriarch as well as their clan's life. With such a good relationship, the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan was attacked by the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop. As long as the Sacred Fire clan stood up for the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan, the two forces would definitely not dare to kill them. After all, the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan was once the Empress' personal guard, and the Sacred Fire clan's patriarch was the founding general of the Phoenix dynasty. Due to the Phoenix dynasty's might, they would definitely not dare to kill the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. This way the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan could also pin down the two forces. However, when Feng Yun asked the Sacred Fire clan's patriarch for help, the Sacred Fire clan's patriarch didn't refuse or agree. On the contrary, he invited Feng Yun to return to the Phoenix dynasty. Once she returned, the Phoenix dynasty would protect the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. Now that the Empress had returned, how could Feng Yun join the Phoenix dynasty? In the future, the Phoenix dynasty would be their enemy. After rejecting, the patriarch of the Sacred Fire clan only sent experts from his clan to send her away. As for this support, It was only to help them fight against some people who were tempted by the life and death pill workshop and the holy item forging workshop. In other words, the Holy Fire clan will make a move but will not do their best. Furthermore, this support might not last for long. Wang Xian's eyes sparkled as he said coldly. That's right. They might retreat in half a year at most. Once they retreat, our Fire Cloud Sparrow clan will be in danger. Feng Yun sighed slightly. She never expected that the person she had saved many times would only act perfunctorily when their tribe was in danger. Not every tribe can be as loyal and righteous as your Firelark tribe. Wang Xian said softly. The stronger the force, the more profit-oriented it was. It was rare to see a tribe like the Firelark tribe. The Empress is the benefactor of our Firelark race. Without her we wouldn't exist. Feng Yun said calmly. Where is the battlefield now? How many insightful Emptiness Realm experts are there in the Firelark race? Wang Xian asked directly. The battlefield is at the easternmost part of the Fire Cloud Mountain range. The two factions that are attached to our Firelark race are fighting with our Firelark experts there. Now that the Holy Fire tribe has joined in, they have restrained themselves a lot. It is a small-scale battle where their strength is weak. As for the insightful Emptiness Realm experts, there are more than 9,000 insightful Emptiness Realm experts in our Fire Cloud Sparrow tribe. Feng Yun replied. Only around 9,000? Wang Xian was slightly taken aback as he asked in astonishment. Feng Yun was slightly taken aback when she heard Wang Xian's astonished words. Only? Were there less than 9,000 insightful Emptiness Realm experts? One had to know that this was only the strength of the Firelark tribe. If they didn't count the fallen ones, there were more than 10,000 of them. If this was placed in the Chao Fa continent, it would definitely be a huge force. This was once the personal guard regiment of an empire. What was the concept of a personal guard regiment? It was the kind of regiment that was the strongest in the 5 empires. The other higher-ups of the Firelark clan in the room also pursed their lips and smiled bitterly. This made them think of the power of this person in front of them. According to the vague information sent by the Empress, he and the Empress had defeated an army with more than 10,000 insightful Emptiness Realm experts together back then. They could basically guess that this insightful Emptiness Realm expert should have around 5,000 to 6,000 of them. This word Kai was indeed well used. Wang Xian saw their expressions and came to a sudden realization. All the insightful Emptiness Realm experts in the entire vast region added together only numbered around 20,000. The Firelark clan had more than 10,000 insightful Emptiness Realm experts, which was considered a relatively large number. Then how is the opponent's strength? Wang Xian raised his eyebrows and asked. The combined strength of the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop is only around 10,000 insightful Emptiness Realm experts. However, they have 2 Longevity Realm experts. Other than that, their financial resources are too terrifying. Not long ago, they hired a masked assassin organization to assassinate several hundred of our Profound Void Realm experts. In addition, they issued a mission at the Mercenary Association to kill a member of our Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. They were able to obtain 5 pills and 5 weapons of the same rank. This caused countless mercenary groups and experts to come and hunt us down. Now, the members of the Sacred Fire clan have come. They said that they would deal with these mercenary groups and unspecialized experts. They completely treated this battle as a training for their disciples. Feng Yun said with some anger. Masked Assassin Organization? What a strange name. Can you give me a copy of the information on this assassin organization? Wang Xian pondered for a moment and said to Feng Yun. The reason why he came to help the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan was to kill the enemy. Since he was here to kill the enemy, he would first get to know the enemy. Sure. Feng Yun, the Fire Cloud Sparrow, and the other higher-ups were curious about Wang Xian's question. However, they didn't ask about it. A graceful and elegant lady took out a set of information from her interspatial ring and handed it to Wang Xian. Can you change your appearance, physique, and even your aura? Wang Xian looked at the information regarding the Masked Assassin Organization in his hand. Unlike ordinary assassin organizations, the assassination techniques of the Masked Assassin Organization could only be considered average. However, their method of changing their appearance was hard to guard against. When a person suddenly turned into someone you were familiar with, naturally they would not be wary at all. Under such circumstances, the other party would be able to kill you easily. The second largest assassin organization in the Transcendence continent. Wang Xian was slightly surprised when he read the evaluation of the Masked Assassin Organization. The Masked Assassin Organization is different from ordinary assassins. Their unique method of changing their appearance, body shape, and aura is easier to train than other assassins. This has resulted in many assassins in the Masked Assassin Organization. Some people have guessed that the number of assassins in the Masked Assassin Organization is in the hundreds of thousands. Hence, they are rated as the number 2 assassin organization on the continent. The elegant lady explained to Wang Xian. Send me to the battlefield tomorrow. Also, show me all the information about the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop. Wang Xian said to them. Young Master Wang, what's your plan? Feng Yun stared at him with some doubt and asked. I have an assassin organization under me. I would like to try and see if they can withstand the assassination attempt by the Dragon Thorns. The corner of Wang Xian's mouth curled up slightly. Ever since he came to the Transcendence continent, he had started off by relying on the Dragon Thorns assassin organization. From the start, the ones he valued the most and the ones he nurtured the most were the Strange Demon and the rest. In the vast region, during the 8 months he was resurrected, it was because of the existence of Strange Demon and the others that he was able to contend against the Lone Sect and the Southern Royal Family. However, Strange Demon's strength at that time wasn't very strong, and he didn't carry out unbridled assassinations. This time he came to the central stage of the extraordinary continent. It was time for Strange Demon and the others to perform. Dragon attack can kill a piece of the sky. He is looking forward to. Chapter 1647. 1647-1547 went in alone. Thank you, young Master Wang, for coming to help us this time. Let me bring you to the front of the battlefield. The information you need is there. If you still need anything, just tell me. This old woman. Feng Yun looked at Wang Xian and thanked him from the bottom of her heart. All right, let's go now. Wang Xian nodded. Let's go. Feng Yun nodded his head and gestured to them. Then he waved his arm. The scene changed and they were in the sky above the fiery cloud mountain range. Feng Yun waved his arm again and brought them forward. After teleporting for 5 consecutive times, Wang Xian and the rest appeared in front of a mountain peak at the front of the fiery cloud mountain range. In front of the mountain peak, there was an incomparably huge city. There were over 10 million people in the city. Currently, the entire city was surrounded by a formation. Only the huge city gate in front of them was open. People with a murderous aura were coming in and out of the city. These are the 2 sects that are attached to our Fire Cloud Sparrow. They are not weak either. Feng Yun explained to Wang Xian. Following that, she moved and brought him into the last Fire Cloud Mountain. Flames enveloped the area. They stepped across a river of lava and entered the foot of the mountain. There's an information department in front. All the information regarding the Life and Death Pill Workshop, the Forging Workshop for Holy Items, and the war will be sent here. These information are real-time. Basically, they can be guaranteed to be accurate. If young Master Wang wants to see any information, just tell the person inside. Feng Yun and the rest brought Wang Xian inside. Patriarch, Queen, Clan Elder. After they entered, the Fire Cloud Sparrow's clansmen hurriedly shouted respectfully. Do your thing. The Fire Cloud Queen waved at them. Young Master Wang, let Huoguduo follow you for the next period of time. If you need anything, just tell her directly. Feng Yun brought him to the information department to take a look before instructing a woman behind him. Young Master Wang. The woman at level 9 of the see-through realm shouted at Wang Xian. All right, I'll take a look at the information here first. You guys go ahead and do what you need to do. Wang Xian nodded and said to them. All right. Feng Yun nodded. Wang Xian didn't stand on ceremony and walked straight in. He asked for all the information about the war, the Life and Death Pill Workshop, and the Holy Item Forging Workshop. The woman called Huoguduo stood at the side. Feng Yun and the rest took a look at Wang Xian before leaving. Young Master Wang is here. I wonder if you can alleviate the plight of our Fire Cloud Sparrow. All the higher-ups of the Fire Cloud Sparrow came to a room and the Queen of Fire Cloud said slowly. As long as nothing happens to young Master Wang, it's fine. We don't ask for anything else. The Empress still needs him. Feng Yun waved her hand and said. All the higher-ups of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan nodded their heads. They didn't expect young Master Wang to be able to help them too much. All they wanted was to be safe. Their empress still needed young Master Wang's help. Wang Xian wasn't too surprised by the attitude of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan towards him. He sat at the position of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan's information department and checked all the resources. Information was imprinted into his mind one by one. This gave him a detailed understanding of this war. This war was no longer an ordinary battle. It involved a radius of tens of thousands of kilometers and involved billions of people. After all, this was a battle between the top forces under the Transcendent Continent Empire. The Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop had deep financial resources. At present, the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan had always been at a disadvantage. With the addition of the Holy Fire clan, the situation had eased up a lot. The Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop didn't want to become mortal enemies with the Holy Fire clan. The Holy Fire clan didn't want to bear the name of being ungrateful, so they only sent a few people to brush it off. As the situation eased up, it turned into sneak attacks and assassinations, which were no more harmful than large-scale direct collisions. This also caused the major factions to treat this place as a training ground for their disciples. The Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop even evaluated and rewarded their disciples based on the number of Fire Lark disciples they had killed. After reading through these basic information, Wang Xian went through all the information on the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop again. In his heart, he had a detailed understanding of the following actions. Young Master Wang, you've been watching for more than 10 hours. Do you want to eat something? When Wang Xian got up and walked out, Elder Huguduo walked over and asked. There's no need. I'll make a trip to the city. Alright, Elder Huguduo, find me a place to stay. After I come back, I'll go straight to my place. Wang Xian said to her. Alright, young Master Wang. The third cave on the mountain peak is where you'll be staying. There's a maid at the entrance while I'm next door. If you need anything, just let the maid call me. Elder Huguduo pointed to a spot and said to Wang Xian. Okay. Wang Xian nodded and flew straight into the city. Looking at the entire huge city, most of the people inside were filled with killing intent. Wang Xian walked towards the exit. At the entrance of the city, some people were forming teams while others were looking for teammates. There were dozens of people who went out of the city to hunt for enemies. Outside the city, there was a hunting battlefield with a radius of a few thousand kilometers. The members of the Firelark tribe and the forces that were affiliated with the Firelark could also obtain huge rewards for killing enemies. Let's improve my strength first. Wang Xian walked out of the city gate and looked ahead. A forest appeared in his line of sight. The forest was a fiery red tree. It was known as the Fire Cloud Forest. The Fire Cloud Forest covered an area of 3,000 kilometers. There were fiery beasts living in it. This place was originally the backyard garden of the Fire Cloud Sparrow tribe. There were many spiritual herbs planted in it. Now that the Life and Death Elixir Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop had attacked this place had become the main battlefield. Let's go. Wang Xian moved his body and flew straight to the front. He flew straight to the void that was tens of thousands of meters away. He concealed himself and dashed forward at a fast speed. For the time being, Wang Xian didn't plan to mobilize all the strange beasts. He wanted to enter the city of the Life and Death Elixir Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop to obtain some information. According to the information of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan, the city more than 3,000 kilometers away was a base of the two major forces. If the people from the two major forces wanted to attack the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan, they would have to stop here. Now that place had become their supply station. As a supply station on the battlefield, the number of elixirs there had definitely reached an extremely high level. Wang Xian wanted to get his hands on those resources. He would plunder the resources in the early stages to increase his and the strange demon's strength. After that, he would have a good time playing with them. Wang Xian looked down at the front with a hint of coldness on his face. Are we almost there? Looking at the huge city in front of him, the corner of Wang Xian's mouth curled up slightly. Issuing missions and recruiting mercenary groups to hunt members of the Firelark tribe could reduce the loss of his own personnel. However, there was also a disadvantage. That was that it was difficult to manage. There were many people entering and exiting the city gates. Wang Xian walked in without any scruples. He went in alone. Chapter 1648. 1648 What heaven's pride? A dragon among men? Go. Walk out of the city. Yesterday we killed more than 10 members of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. Ah, this is awesome. I heard that the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan has a helper, a member of the Sacred Fire clan. We have to be careful in the near future. We have already received news that the Patriarch of the Sacred Fire clan did not come. The strongest one is at level 9 of the Profound Void tier. However, experts at level 9 of the Profound Void tier have experts from the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop to deal with them. The Peerless Prodigy of the Holy Item Forging Workshop. Jianghu, who is a dragon among men, heard that he has already killed more than 200 members of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. He even killed more than 10 Void Interpretation stage experts. He is simply too strong. Shui Liani and Shui Lianhuan from the Life and Death Pill Workshop, the Twin Pearls, killed the prodigy of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan Huamingyu yesterday. He is one of the most outstanding prodigies of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan in the current generation. As soon as he stepped into the city, voices of discussion could be heard. Wang Xian raised his eyebrows and scanned his surroundings. All of them were young, middle-aged, and old men who were filled with killing intent. Most of them had bloodthirsty excitement in their eyes. The war between the Life and Death Elixir Workshop and the Fire Cloud Sparrow tribe had thoroughly angered the two major factions. They did not hesitate to pay a huge sum of money to issue missions. This had caused many people who loved to fight to rush over and join in the war to participate in the hunting of the Firelark tribe members. Wang Xian looked over and a cold expression appeared in his eyes. A strange ray of light shot out from his eyes. The dragon eyes of the yin-yang and 5 elements were opened instantly. He scanned his surroundings and could sense the strength of the people around him. In a city with a population of over 10 million, the weakest among them was at least at Transcendent level 7 and above, and those at the Profound Void tier could be seen everywhere. His gaze swept over the buildings on both sides, one on the left and one on the right. Both rows were filled with shops of the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop. Each of these 2 shops was thousands of meters long. High-level medicinal pills could be seen everywhere in the shops. If they were placed in the flowing sea area, it would make everyone go crazy. War was what the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Biological Pill Workshop wanted to see the most. The reason why they dared to pay such a high price to hire various mercenary groups and assassins was because they needed elixirs and weapons for mercenary groups to fight. If they bought elixirs and weapons from the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop, the income of the 2 forces would also increase. In this way they did not have to pay too much of a price. Every shop has a level 5 insightful void martial artist guarding it. There are also level 7 and 8 insightful void martial artists among them. Wang Xian swept his gaze across the area and continued walking forward. There are level 9 insightful void martial artists there, and there's more than one of them. That should be the center. There are 5 experts who are half a step away from longevity. This entire city is terrifyingly powerful. If it wasn't for the Firelark tribe holding them back, the Dragon Phoenix Empire would have been destroyed long ago. Wang Xian quickly walked to the center of the city. He was slightly shocked as he checked the strength of the entire city. Once his identity was exposed, he would definitely not be able to walk out of this city. Although there were no longevity experts around, there were at least 5 people who were half a step away from longevity. If I plunder the elixirs here and escape immediately. The corner of Wang Xian's mouth curled up slightly. As long as there were no longevity realm experts around, everything would be fine. The current him could teleport twice without a break. 1 time would be 20 kilometers and 2 times would be 40 kilometers. If he escaped 40 kilometers, even a half-step longevity realm expert wouldn't be able to catch him. This was especially so since all the elixir stores were located near the city gates. Wang Xian returned to the original route and arrived at the top floor of a restaurant near the city gates. His gaze swept across the area below. There are a total of 50 elixir stores. Some are big and some are small. There is only one place with an expert at level 8 of the see-through realm guarding it. There are 50 at level 5 of the see-through realm and 2 at level 7 of the see-through realm. With 500 strange demons attacking at the same time, they can take away all the elixirs from the 50 elixir stores in an instant. Then they will fly over and enter the storage spiritual bag. They will leave in an instant. Wang Xian sipped his tea gently. He sat there quietly and watched as he pondered in his heart. It's only a distance of 2,000 meters. There is absolutely no chance of failure. Wang Xian thought to himself. Haha, young Master Jiang Xingho, please come in, please come in. Young Master Jiang is simply too strong. He fought against more than a dozen experts of the Fire Lark clan alone. Impressive, impressive. At this moment, more than a dozen young men walked over from the stairway. They were laughing and conversing with each other. Jiang Xingho, the peerless prodigy of the holy item forging workshop, the dragon among men Jiang Xingho. Now he has the strength of a 5th-level void interpretation. He has shone brilliantly in this war. Is he Jiang Xingho? I heard that he is an outstanding disciple of the current generation of the Jiang clan of the holy item forging workshop. In the restaurant, some people also looked over with curious faces. It's the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan's trash that is too weak. If it wasn't for their Fire Cloud Sparrow experts coming over, I would have been able to kill them all. The corners of Jiang Xingho's mouth curled up slightly as he sat on the table with a face full of confidence. That's not right. Young Master Jiang, your strength is too strong. In this war, young Master Jiang, you have the demeanor of a great general. May I ask how many contemporary disciples have the demeanor of a great general like you? A few young men at the side fawned over him. Serve the wine and dishes. His figure was tall and sturdy. The young man holding a heavy hammer in his hand waved his hand arrogantly. Now that I've killed 19 Fire Cloud Sparrow K Void Realm experts, I'm still lacking one more to be able to give a follow-up evaluation of Jiang Xingho. I want to earn the title of the strongest heaven's favorite in the Jiang family's current generation. That's right, that's right. The disciple who performed the best in this war will be able to obtain a huge reward. I think this reward belongs to young Master Jiang Xingho. Voices of unbridled conversation rang out. Some of the people around didn't dare to say anything. Jiang Xingho was the current heaven's favorite of the Jiang family in the holy item forging workshop. He was the disciple of the dragon among men. A 5th-level insightful emptiness realm expert. Each title could suppress many people. Wang Xian swept his gaze across the group of people who were chatting freely and smiled faintly. Let's move out. He looked out of the window and had a thought. In the storage spirit bag in his hand, illusory shadows flew directly towards the elixir store below. 500 strange demons were moving out at the same time. The weakest among them could assassinate an expert at level 6 of the see-through realm. There were a total of 500 of them. This force was extremely terrifying even in this war. A group of strange demons flew over at an extremely fast speed. Out of the 50 elixir stores, 1 out of 10 strange demons entered. 5 of them attempted to assassinate and the other 5 took all the elixirs away. How long would this take? Just a few seconds. At this moment, Wang Xian stood up slowly and walked towards the table of Jiang Xingho and the rest in the middle. He was holding a wine cup in his hand with a smile on his face. I have long heard of young Master Jiang's great name. Let me toast you. Wang Xian walked over and raised his wine cup towards them. Huh? Jiang Xingho looked over and raised his eyebrows slightly. Who are you? What right do you have to toast young Master Jiang? The group of young men on the table stared at Wang Xian and said in disdain. Walala. However, the moment they finished speaking, they saw the young man in front of them pouring his wine onto the ground. Everyone was stunned. Chapter 1649. 1649. What heaven's pride? A dragon among men? Down. Time's up. You can die now. Pa. Under the astonished gazes of everyone on the top floor of the restaurant, the wine in the unfamiliar young man's hand fell to the ground. Following that, the porcelain cup in his hand also fell to the ground. A crisp sound and cold words rang out, causing everyone in the restaurant to be slightly stunned. Bus. Wang Xian waved his arm and a wave of destructive energy directly attacked everyone in the restaurant. What? Who are you? In the restaurant, Jiang Xingho and the rest felt Wang Xian's terrifying attack. Their faces were filled with horror and terror. However, Wang Xian did not pay any attention to them. He stood there without saying a word and looked at everyone with an expressionless face. Run. Jiang Xingho stood up hurriedly with a face full of horror. However, at this moment, a terrifying attack covered the entire top floor of the restaurant. His face was filled with horror as he froze. Wang Xian waved his arm and the corpses of more than 30 people on the top floor were directly stored into his interspatial ring. What heaven's pride! What dragon among men! In front of him he was just a weakling. As the saying goes, before everyone's peerless heaven's pride, and dragon among men had matured, they were all trash. In the world of the strong there were only the strong. Murder. At this moment, sounds of exclamations could be heard from outside. Wang Xian stood there and looked down with a smile on his face. In his line of sight, numerous strange demons were flying towards him at a terrifying speed. They entered Wang Xian's acceptance spirit pouch directly. Dragon King, it's a success. Everyone is here. Ao Yao's voice rang in Wang Xian's ears. Let's go. Wang Xian swept a glance at the terrifying aura that surged from the center and revealed a cold smile on his face. His figure flashed and appeared 20 kilometers away in an instant. After completely fusing with the Heart of Darkness, he would also possess all of Ao Yao's abilities. As long as it was not an attack formation that was controlled by humans, the other defensive formations would have no effect on him. After 2 flashes, his figure appeared 40 kilometers away. Wang Xian flew further away based on the memories in his mind. Who did it? Who did it? Reporting to Grand Elder, all the members in the 50 shops of our life and death elixir workshop have disappeared. All the elixirs have also disappeared. Less than 3 seconds after Wang Xian left, figures with a terrifying aura flew over. An old man with the words life and death embroidered on his clothes roared angrily. His body trembled when he heard the report from his subordinates. What did you say? All the members have disappeared and all the elixirs have disappeared? The old man scanned his surroundings furiously. With a wave of his hand he attacked the tallest tower in the city. Wang? A terrifying energy directly surrounded the entire city, and the city was directly sealed. What's going on? What happened? Why is the city closed? That seems to be the Grand Elder of the Life and Death Pill Workshop. It seems like the Life and Death Pill Workshop has been ransacked. All the people have disappeared. How is this possible? Every pill workshop has a 5th level profound void martial artist guarding it. There are a total of 55th level profound void martial artists. When everyone in the entire city saw the formation seal, their faces revealed a shocked expression as they discussed in succession. How is it possible to raid 50 of your shops in an instant? This is absolutely not something that one person can accomplish. Each shop has an expert guarding it. This requires at least 106th rank void interpretation experts to be able to do it. However, even if there are 100 experts at the 6th level of the void interpretation realm, they wouldn't be able to move so fast. Where are they now? The expert from the Holy Item Forging Workshop scanned his surroundings. With a wave of his arm, one one-eyed crow after another flew over from the center of the city. There were over a dozen cyan crows that were more than 10 meters in size. They had a single eye between their brows, and they looked somewhat terrifying. Eye crows, check if there are any suspicious people. The expert from the Holy Item Forging Workshop said directly. It's the Grand Elder. The dozen cyan crows spoke in human language and hovered in the sky above the city. Their huge eyes coldly swept over everyone. Under the eye crow's eyes, no one who was suspicious could hide. Even half a step to longevity can't do it in just a few seconds. A supreme elder of the Holy Item Forging Workshop frowned. Fortunately, it wasn't their Holy Item Forging Workshop that was robbed this time. But even so, at this moment it made them a little nervous. Our Life and Death Pill Workshop put tens of thousands of insightful void tier pills here. There are also hundreds of thousands of pills below insightful void tier. There are also 50 experts above the 5th rank of the profound void tier. It must be the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. It must be their doing. An angry voice was spat out from the mouths of the 2 Grand Elders of the Life and Death Pill Workshop. They directly floated in the sky as they swept their surroundings with dense expressions. So many medicinal pills. This was an incomparably huge blow to their Life and Death Pill Workshop. It was no exaggeration to say that 1/10 of the medicinal pills in their entire Life and Death Pill Workshop were here. It was even more than the losses from the previous war with the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. The Fire Cloud Sparrow clan shouldn't have this ability. Could it be that they found some helpers? The Supreme Elder of the Holy Item Forging Workshop frowned. Facing such a terrifying clan like the Fire Cloud Sparrow, they were filled with fear everywhere. After all, that was once the personal guard race of the #1 empress of the continent. Damn it, damn it. Search for me, search the entire area. The two half-step longevity experts from the Life and Death Elixir Workshop roared furiously. Everyone in the city was filled with shock. It seems that half-step longevity is not as powerful as I thought. Wang Xian flew in the sky with a smile on his face. In fact, the gap between Wang Xian and half-step longevity was not huge. Half-step longevity meant that they could teleport after comprehending the 9th level of the domain. They could use their domain to suppress their enemies. However, the distance of their teleportation was about the same as the distance of Wang Xian's current teleportation. The only difference was that they had one more domain to attack. Although there was a gap between Wang Xian and them, the gap was not too big. There are so many elixirs here. Taking out a quarter of them is enough to raise Ao Yao's level. Wang Xian looked at the elixirs in his interspatial ring and smiled. He came to a safe place in the sky and swallowed all the elixirs. One by one, the pills were converted into dragon energy. Tens of thousands of insightful void-level pills were swallowed. Under hundreds of thousands of insightful void-level pills, the top-tier pills among transcendents were swallowed. Following that, Wang Xian transferred the dragon energy to Ao Yao's body. A 7th-level insightful void-level dragon species, fighting 2 levels above it. Chapter 1650. 1650. The 1,650 humans and dragons merged into one. It's the right decision to come here. I can kill without any scruples and plunder without any scruples. Looking at Ao Yao's improvement in strength, Wang Xian revealed a smile. In the vast region, unless he destroyed the 3 superpowers, it was impossible for him to obtain so many resources. However, he could obtain them easily here. Killing people and plundering goods. War was the fastest way to make a fortune. Wang Xian continued to fly into the distance. He took a look at his attributes and realized that he still needed half of the resources needed to level up. I'll be able to level up with a few tens of thousands of elixirs above the insightful void realm, Wang Xian thought to himself. After all, his current strength was only at the 4th level of the insightful void realm. Even if he needed a huge amount of dragon chi to level up, a few tens of thousands of elixirs at the insightful void realm would still be able to increase his strength. Profound void-tier medicinal pills were considered relatively precious items in the central continent region. My next target is one of the 2 great medicinal pill holy lands of the Life and Death Pill Workshop, the Heavenly Medicine Valley. As the Life and Death Pill Workshop that had stood tall for 70 to 80,000 years in the entire Transcendence continent, their foundations were extremely terrifying. They were able to open the medicinal pill workshop all over the Transcendence continent. Most importantly, they possessed 2 paradises. One was the Life and Death Medicinal Garden. The other was the Heavenly Medicine Valley. Among them, the Life and Death Medicinal Garden was the main headquarters of the Life and Death Medicinal Garden. At its core, there were longevity experts who guarded it all year round. Once the longevity experts left, the array formation would be activated. It would be very difficult for the longevity experts to enter. And the importance of the Heavenly Medicine Valley was slightly lower than the Life and Death Medicinal Garden. However, it also had the protection of a longevity level array formation. It was as difficult as ascending to the heavens to break in. According to the records of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan regarding the Life and Death Elixir Workshop, the Divine Herb Valley is guarded by half-step longevity level powerhouses all year round. However, during this war, the strength of the guards over there should be reduced by more than half. Most of them rely on the formation to protect them. The defensive formation is useless to me. The corner of Wang Xian's mouth curled up slightly. Knowing oneself, knowing one's enemy and winning every battle. He had come here to help the Firelark tribe. What he valued the most was the corpses of the experts and the elixirs from the Life and Death Elixir Workshop. The corpses of the experts could be placed in the dragon pool to increase the strength of the dragon palace. The elixirs were self-evident. As long as I can obtain the elixirs and spiritual herbs in the Heaven Herb Valley, even if I get a portion of them, it will be enough for me to increase my strength by 1 level. Once I increase my strength by 1 level, I will be equivalent to the strongest person under the longevity realm. Next, in this war, I will be able to go all out. Wang Xian thought to himself. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly as he flew rapidly towards the Heaven Herb Valley. It would take a long time for Wang Xian to fly a distance of 50,000 kilometers. Along the way he passed by some cities. Some of them belonged to the Life and Death Elixir Workshop. However, Wang Xian did not make a move. He was prepared to have a big fight. After walking and stopping, Wang Xian spent a day to arrive at the Heaven Herb Valley of the Life and Death Elixir Workshop. It is said that these mountains are the founders of the Life and Death Elixir Workshop. With great power they moved the mountains over and formed a valley. Every mountain peak is filled with powerful formations. If one wishes to barge in under the age of 10,000 years, they can be destroyed immediately. Even if one is at level 1 or level 2 of the Longevity Elixir Workshop, it would be very difficult to enter. Wang Xian looked at the valley surrounded by 40 to 50 mountains of 6 to 7,000 meters in front of him. His eyes were flashing with madness. Opening his dragon eyes of yin and yang and the 5 elements, Wang Xian scanned the surrounding area of 100 kilometers vigilantly. Within the radius of 100 kilometers, every trace was within his sight. Wang Xian concealed his figure. His ability to conceal himself was not any weaker than Ao Yao Yao's. Flying up to a height of 10,000 meters, Wang Xian looked down. I can't even penetrate the formation. As expected of a formation that can withstand a longevity expert. Wang Xian looked down and realized that the dragon eyes of the yin-yang and 5 elements were unable to penetrate the formation. A hint of surprise appeared on his face. He hesitated for a moment and slowly descended. Without the slightest fluctuation, Wang Xian easily penetrated the formation and floated in the sky above the entire Heaven Herb Valley. What a terrifying spiritual energy, what a terrifying medicinal fragrance. The moment he entered the formation, an extremely dense spiritual energy rushed over directly. At the same time, a powerful spiritual medicinal fragrance rushed over. Just taking a deep breath made one feel refreshed. The spiritual energy and the fragrance of the herbs here are comparable to the Dragon Palace. As expected of a force on the mainland, they really have a deep foundation. Wang Xian floated in the sky in amazement. Cultivating here was comparable to the Dragon Palace. One could imagine how terrifying it was. Of course, it was impossible for the Life and Death Elixir Workshop to let people cultivate here. This was because cultivating here would destroy the spiritual herbs here. The spiritual herbs here hiss. When Wang Xian looked down, he revealed an extremely shocked expression. The spiritual herbs were divided into 9 domains based on the formation. Each domain contained spiritual herbs and spiritual trees of various attributes. Every domain had a radius of 10 kilometers. The entire Heaven's Herb Valley covered an area of more than 50 kilometers. However, within this 50-kilometer area, there were hundreds of millions of spirit herbs and spirit trees planted. At the very center, a 20-meter-tall spirit tree with luxuriant branches stood there quietly. The entire spirit tree was emitting a fiery red light. The light covered an area of 200 meters, creating a space of its own. On top of it there were many fruits. One of the fruit trees was so red that it was purple. It was emitting a gentle flame, while the others were somewhat green. A longevity-level spirit tree and a longevity-level spirit fruit. As expected of a force on the mainland, there are even spirit trees of this level. Wang Xian was extremely shocked. He gulped and looked around. Half-step longevity level, 9th level and 8th level spirit herbs and spirit trees were everywhere. However, many of the spirit herbs and spirit trees were not fully ripe yet. Plucking the spirit herbs before they fully matured would cause great losses. As the Heaven's Medicine Valley of the Life and Death Pill Workshop, they would only pluck these spirit herbs and spirit trees when they matured. They had been planting these spirit herbs and spirit trees for tens of thousands of years. This is their foundation. Even if the Fire Cloud Sparrow can completely defeat the Life and Death Pill Workshop in this war, they won't fall in an instant. As long as the Heaven Herb Valley is around, there is still a high chance for them to rise up, not to mention their base camp, the Life and Death Elixir Garden. The foundation of some factions was really terrifying. 3 people who are half-step to longevity, 15 people who are at the 9th level of the Void Interpretation stage, and 30 people who are at the 8th level of the Void Interpretation stage. This is the power of protection. This is also the hidden power of the Life and Death Elixir Workshop. Wang Xian's eyes flickered as he swept his gaze downwards. With such a strong power, once he appeared he would definitely be smashed into pieces. However, the entire valley is divided into 9 places by the formation. Only 3 places are guarded by a half-step to longevity expert. The rest of the places are not guarded. Wang Xian narrowed his eyes slightly. If he could obtain all the spiritual herbs in the entire Heaven Herb Valley, he would be able to advance by at least 2 or even 3 levels consecutively. Chapter 1651. 1651 The 1651 humans and dragons merged into one. In the dark and light herb garden that is covered by the formation, the defense is the weakest. Let's go to these 2 places first. Wang Xian scanned the area below him with his dragon eyes that seemed to be able to see through the void and the netherworld. He tried his best to conceal his figure and slowly flew towards the dark herb garden below. Perhaps it was because no one had infiltrated the celestial herb valley in the past tens of thousands of years. Although there seemed to be many powerhouses in the entire valley, no one had discovered him. Wang Xian came to the sky above the dark herb garden. He moved his body and entered directly. The moment he entered, Wang Xian saw 5 figures inside. 5 old men dressed in life and death elixir workshop uniforms were refining elixirs. They did not notice Wang Xian who had entered. Bus. He waved his arm and a wave of destructive energy engulfed the 5 of them. The 5 powerhouses at the 8th level of the see-through void tier were instantly killed. Even if it's the smallest dark herb garden, there are at least 1 million spiritual herbs in there. Wang Xian looked at the herb garden with a burning look in his eyes. Without any hesitation he threw all the elixirs into the storage spiritual bag. He didn't spare even the low-level spiritual herbs. 5 minutes later, Wang Xian passed through the formation and entered the herb garden of light. There were more experts in the protection of light than in the herb garden of darkness. However, there were also some experts at level 8 of the see-through realm. Wang Xian waved his arm and continued to wipe them out. Then he began to plunder the herb garden in a frenzy. There are experts at level 9 of the see-through realm guarding the herb garden of wind attribute. However, with Ao Yao and myself around, there shouldn't be much of a problem. Following the same method, Wang Xian released Ao Yao and the 2 of them sneaked into the herb garden of wind attribute. Now that Wang Xian possessed an assassination technique that was no weaker than Ao Yao, he easily worked together with Ao Yao to eliminate the 2 9th-level profound void martial stage cultivators in the wind attribute herb garden. Just like that, there was no commotion at all. Wang Xian brought Ao Yao into the 6 herb gardens of light, dark, wind, thunder, water and earth. There are half-step longevity experts in the remaining 3 herb gardens. It's impossible for me to assassinate them. Standing in the earth attribute herb garden, Wang Xian looked at the other 3 areas. The other 3 areas were the largest areas in the entire herb garden. The level and quantity of the spiritual herbs there were much higher than the spiritual herbs he obtained. There's no rush. After I absorb the spiritual herbs in my hands, I will have invincible strength below longevity. When the time comes, I can completely crush these 3 half-step longevity masters with my powerful strength. Wang Xian thought to himself. His heart was burning with passion. If he could obtain the resources of the entire herb garden, wouldn't he be able to fight against longevity? I will be discovered if I make a breakthrough here. I still have to go out and make a breakthrough. Wang Xian thought to himself. His eyes were burning as he looked at the longevity-level spiritual tree in the center. After hesitating for a moment, he resisted the temptation and flew out. A longevity-level spirit tree could be called a demigod tree. This type of spirit tree had its own domain and possessed spirituality. Even the divine tree above the longevity level possessed extremely terrifying combat strength. It was comparable to the godly state and was extremely heaven-defying. If he wanted to pick fruits from this type of spirit tree, it would definitely cause a commotion. Bear with it for a while. The situation in the other 6 herb gardens will not be discovered. Wang Xian moved his body and flew out of the Heaven Herb Valley without causing any ripples. After flying out of the valley, he arrived 40 kilometers away in 2 flashes. He took out the spiritual herbs from his storage spiritual bag. There were tens of millions of spiritual herbs. Among them, there were hundreds of thousands of spiritual herbs at the void interpretation level. However, there were only about 100,000 spiritual herbs that were fully matured. The rest of the spiritual herbs were not mature yet. However, this was enough. Wang Xian threw the spiritual herbs into his mouth one by one and quickly swallowed them. The dragon energy in his body was increasing at a terrifying speed. Ding! Congratulations to host for achieving a breakthrough in your level. As you have comprehended the strongest aspect of the 5 elements, the great grinding of the 5 elements has further strengthened your body and strengthened your dragon tail. Ding. Congratulations to host for comprehending the aspect, divine dragon tail swing. Ding. 5 elements grinding strengthen dragon claw, dragon head, dragon body, dragon tail, strengthen the whole body, complete man-dragon unity. Name Wuxia. Race, yin-yang dragon of 5 elements, man and dragon in one. Level, Hollow 5, Dragon Transformation, 3rd Transformation. Dragon Glass, 31,233. 11,276. 4,000,000,000 billion. Avatar, rules the water tribe below its level. Devourer of life to extract dragon glass. Control the 5 elements. Kung Fu, Dragon Transformation. Supernatural power, soul, spirit, yin and yang 5 elements dragon eyes. Facsimile, 5 elements big mill, palm dragon country, dragon head world, 10,000 dragon body, yin and yang poles, yin and yang 5 elements bowl, dragon tail. Dragon Palace, level 3. Members of Dragon Palace, 20003. KKK. A powerful force washed over Wuxia's body. His entire dragon body doubled in size, reaching a height of 300 meters. 5 colored rays of light circulated around his body. The power of light and darkness enveloped the surrounding space. A powerful and invincible aura was emitted from his body. Phew, I've made a breakthrough. After this breakthrough, I'm one step closer to the peak of the supernatural continent. Wuxia slowly opened his eyes. A powerful pressure spread out in the surroundings. He moved his body and transformed into his human form to feel his body. A smile appeared on his face. The breakthrough this time was no surprise. His dragon tail had become stronger. What surprised him was that he had become one with the dragon. On his attribute panel, he could transform into a human and become one with the dragon. This meant that even if Wuxia didn't transform into a divine dragon, he would have the combat strength of a half-step to the peak of longevity. There was no difference between the human form and the divine dragon form. When he raised his arm, he could immediately transform into a dragon claw that was a few kilometers in size. When he opened his mouth, he could transform into a dragon head that was a few kilometers in size. This was the human-dragon unity. Every upgrade is a qualitative change. Next, it will be the entire Heaven Herb Valley. Wuxia immediately turned his head and looked into the Heaven Herb Valley. His face was filled with excitement. Boom. Just as Wuxia was about to enter the Heaven Herb Valley again, a raging fire suddenly rose in the valley ahead. The fire directly shot tens of thousands of meters into the sky. The entire Heaven Herb Valley was like a terrifying furnace. What's going on? Is the formation activated? Wuxia's expression changed slightly as he looked at the terrifying flames. The blazing flames dyed the entire sky red. The air was burning and a wave of heat surged over. They discovered the disappearance of the spiritual herbs in the 6 herb gardens. They activated the formation immediately. Wuxia's pupils constricted slightly. This kind of attack and defense formation was one. Once it was activated, it would be surrounded by a forbidden area. Under such circumstances, even if he could ignore the formation, he wouldn't be able to enter it. The heavens are really unfair. I can't believe I was discovered so quickly. If I can still enter. Wuxia was a little unwilling. If he could enter, his strength would be able to increase by 1 level. At that time, his combat strength that was comparable to the longevity realm would be able to fight head-on with Feng Yun and the other 2 forces. Chapter 1652. 1652-1652 God Demon God. What? All the spiritual herbs in the 6 attribute herb gardens in the Heaven Herb Valley have disappeared. Who did this? Who is targeting our life and death pill workshop? The pills in Heaven City were stolen. Now, 1/4 of the pills in the Heaven Herb Valley have been stolen. How can they not know who the opponent is? How is this possible? Our Heaven Herb Valley is protected by a longevity level array formation. 3 half-step longevity level Grand Elders are guarding it. How can 1/4 of it be stolen? In a huge grassland, the valley and the plateau were fluctuating. Many powerful demon beasts were running on it. In a flower garden beside a huge river, when the senior executives of the Life and Death Pill Workshop received the news from the Heaven's Medicine Valley, their faces revealed extremely ugly expressions. In Fengtian City, their Life and Death Pill Workshop had suffered heavy losses. However, they didn't expect that something had actually happened in the Heaven's Medicine Valley. The loss of the Heaven Medicine Valley made them feel anger and fear. The Heaven Medicine Valley was where their foundation lay. If they lost one point, it would be the loss of their own foundation. However, from the beginning to the end, they did not know who their opponent was. Now, the Medicine Master has personally gone to the Life and Death Medicinal Pill Workshop. Those who can barge into our Heaven Medicine Mountain are at least half-step longevity experts. An old man said with a somewhat grave expression. It must be the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. It must be them. An old man dressed in white clothes growled with an ice-cold expression. Even if it wasn't them who did it, it has a great relationship with them. Now that they've invited the Sacred Fire clan to come and help them, it's very likely that they've also invited other experts that we don't know of. In the center, a thin and weak old man holding a resplendent bamboo said faintly. The Sacred Fire clan clearly doesn't want to go all out, but their deterrent force is still there. Some of the Phoenix Dynasty's mercenary groups and some experts have withdrawn a lot. An old woman frowned slightly. The Fire Cloud Sparrow clan is indeed powerful. They were once the Empress's personal guard group, but our Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop aren't doing it for nothing. If they can invite people, we can too. The Water Tribe leader of the Life and Death Pill Workshop, who was holding the bamboo, said faintly. Oh, tribe leader, we have helpers too? The old woman was slightly taken aback as she hurriedly asked. It's not like we are asking others to risk their lives for us. Naturally, there will be people who are willing to take action, especially those who are battle-hungry. The Water Tribe leader who was holding the bamboo smiled. Those who are battle-hungry, are they from the Nine God Empire's Demon God tribe? The old woman was slightly stunned and quickly asked. The Demon God of the Nine Gods. The chief of the Water Tribe with the green bamboo in his hand revealed a hint of coldness in his eyes. He's gone. He's gone. At this moment, at a location 50 kilometers away from the Heaven Herb Valley. He had been squatting here for 2 days. The moment he saw the space tremble slightly, he hurriedly fled into the distance. A Wansho master had arrived. What a pity. Tu Wangxian, who appeared 100 kilometers away in a flash, sighed. He wanted to wait for the attack of the formation to stop. Now that a Wansho master had appeared, it would be troublesome if he wanted to enter the formation. When my strength reaches Wansho, I must destroy the Life and Death Elixir Workshop and make a trip to the Life and Death Elixir Garden. Wang Xian thought to himself as he flew in the direction of the Firelark clan. He was already very satisfied with his gains this time around. If his strength increased by 1 level, he would be invincible under 10,000 years old. Next, he would bring the strange demon clan to massacre everyone. It was time to enter the battlefield between the Firelark clan and the two major forces. Wang Xian flew at high speed and headed straight for the battlefield. The increase in his strength had increased his speed by about 5 times. Previously, his speed was 2,000 meters per second. Now it was 10,000 meters per second. The range of teleportation had also increased to 50 kilometers. Boom, boom, boom. Just as Wang Xian was flying, a terrifying aura suddenly came from the left. A fiery red figure was approaching at a terrifying speed. A ferocious beast? Wang Xian looked over and revealed a curious expression. Kiki, catch the flaming soul in it. I didn't expect our luck to be so good to meet a flaming soul. Then, at this moment, sounds of excitement could be heard from behind the flaming soul. 5 figures were flying over at a terrifying speed. Their target was the flaming soul. Wang Xian's gaze swept across them and finally landed on the fiery soul they were talking about. What pure fiery energy. This is similar to the soul of darkness. Looking at the fiery soul, Wang Xian's face was filled with astonishment. The soul of darkness was formed from strong dark energy. This fiery soul was formed from fiery energy. Wang Xian could make the 5 elements grind to absorb this energy. Roar! When the soul of fire saw Wang Xian, who was right in front of him, his eyes revealed a look of panic and anger. He spat out flames from his mouth and attacked from a distance of 10,000 meters away. There's someone in front. Kiki, there's an unlucky fellow. He can help us defend for 1 second. Strange cries came from behind. 5 figures were approaching quickly. My luck is really good. Wang Xian looked at the flaming soul of the 9th level of the void interpretation stage. A yang Tai Chi pattern appeared around his body. When the flames landed on it, they were easily blocked. Wang Xian waved his arm and transformed it into a dragon claw. He clawed at the flaming soul. Confine. He let out a soft cry. The gray energy trapped the flaming soul directly. The dragon claw, which was more than 10 meters in size, grabbed the flaming soul directly. Roar! Roar! The flaming soul looked at Wang Xian with a look of horror in its eyes. What? How is this possible? Exclamations came out from the mouths of the 5 elders. They widened their eyes and revealed a hint of shock and fear on their faces. He was able to grab the flaming soul of the 9th level of the see-through realm in one move. Such strength. What a pure flame. A fire phoenix dragon seed of the 1st level of the see-through realm can absorb it and reach the 8th level of the see-through realm in one leap. Wang Xian ignored the 5 elders. He looked at the flame soul in his hand and revealed a look of surprise. This, Senior, we are from the demon god tribe of the 9 god empire. The flame soul in your hand is our prey. The 5 elders saw that Wang Xian ignored them. They looked at each other, gritted their teeth and said indignantly. This flaming soul was a priceless treasure. I caught it now. Wang Xian grabbed the flaming soul and glanced at it indifferently. We are the demon god tribe. Please give us some face, Senior. The 5 old men's faces changed. With a dark expression they took out their names again. One of the 9 gods, the demon god. You talk too much nonsense. Wang Xian waved his arm and 5 grayish hand seals attacked them directly. What? You dare to attack us? The 5 of them had a drastic change in expression. Bang! However, before he could resist, the palm landed on their bodies. The powerful force caused them to fly backward at an even faster speed. Fresh blood flew out from their mouths. Chapter 1653. 1653 meeting the little princess again. Noisy. Wang Xian looked at the 5 9th level profound void martial artists who were flying at a speed of at least 5 to 6,000 meters per second and said indifferently. He looked at the flaming soul in his hand and revealed a smile. His body moved and he continued flying towards the direction of the battlefield. He did not have the slightest fear towards the experts from the 9 gods empire. However, he didn't kill them on the spot. After all, it wouldn't be good if he offended a longevity level expert. Wang Xian had some understanding of the 9 god empire. The 9 god empire was formed by 9 tribes. Legend had it that it was an empire formed by 9 gods. In the current 9 god empire, every tribe had a longevity level expert. In other words, there were at least a few longevity level experts in the 9 god empire. The demon god of the 9 gods was the demon god tribe of the 9 god empire. This tribe was extremely belligerent and was ranked in the middle of the 9 god empire. Wang Xian's figure flashed and disappeared into the sky. However, at this moment, the 5 elders of the demon god of the 9 gods tribe, who were at level 9 of the see-through realm, spat out fresh blood as they flew backward. Each of their faces were filled with shock. The elders of our tribe are back. Hiss, our elders are so fast. The fire soul must have been obtained by the elders. The fire soul of the 9th level of the void interpretation is simply a treasure for fire attribute experts. In the sky 50 kilometers behind them, more than 1,000 youths and middle-aged men were flying rapidly. When they saw the figures of the 5 elders, shock and excitement appeared on their faces. Just now, when they were flying in the sky, they unexpectedly found a fire soul. This was simply an opportunity that had fallen from the sky. The 5 elders immediately gave chase. Now that they saw the elders returning, they would definitely return triumphantly. That's not right. That is? Just as the 5 figures approached, everyone could not help but be slightly stunned. That's not right. Why were the 5 elders flying backwards? Flying backwards? What kind of divine ability was this? The 5 elders are injured, quickly catch them. Quick, quick. When the few profound void tier 8 experts standing in front saw the 5 elders spitting out blood and flying backwards, their faces were filled with shock, and they hurriedly shouted. Catch, catch. Instantly, over a dozen profound void tier 8 experts immediately went up to the elders and caught their bodies. Hoo-hoo. The 5 elders of the demon god tribe steadied their bodies and panted heavily. Their faces were extremely pale. What terrifying strength. With a casual wave of his hand, he actually sent us flying 50 kilometers. If that expert were serious, he would be able to instantly kill us in one move. The 5 elders looked at each other with palpitations on their faces as they said with extremely embarrassed expressions. What? Elder and expert attacked you? The surrounding demon god tribe members surrounded them with faces full of shock. He looks very young. He must have consumed some kind of medicinal pill. However, his strength is really terrifying. He has the strength of a half-step Wansho. I didn't expect that his luck would be so bad this time. He actually met an expert of half-step Wansho. Damn it. If our tribe's half-step Wansho expert came, how could the flame soul benefit that guy? The 5 elders revealed unwilling expressions. However, they were completely convinced by the strength of that seemingly young man. Fortunately, the other party was afraid of their background. Otherwise, let's go. We are recuperating at the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop. The elders of the demonic god tribe took a deep breath and said with a gloomy face, "Let's go." The group of people didn't dare to ask further when they saw the silence of the elders. They quickly flew towards Fengtian City. It seems that Fengtian City has been completely sealed off. I wonder if I can fight against the 5 half-step longevity experts with my own strength. A few hours later, Fengtian City appeared in Wang Xian's line of sight. He looked at Fengtian City, which was completely sealed off, and the corner of his mouth curled up slightly. When he returned again, this city could no longer give him too much pressure. Of course, it was impossible for him to charge into the city directly. After witnessing the foundation of the Life and Death Pill Workshop, Wang Xian reckoned that he wouldn't be able to get out if he charged in. With the strength of the Fire Lark tribe, they can't withstand the desperate attack of the 2 forces. I can't infuriate them completely either. Since that's the case, I might as well make a move on those people who are courting death. Kill them and accumulate resources at the same time. Only when I can fight against longevity will I have the right to be arrogant. Wang Xian thought to himself. With a move of his body, he flew towards the center of the fire cloud forest. Floating in the sky, the dragon eyes of the yin-yang and 5 elements scanned the area below. Within a radius of 100 kilometers, everyone appeared in his sight. Bus, bus, bus. The storage spirit bag vibrated and numerous shadows appeared in the sky. Why are there so few people? Within a radius of 100 kilometers, there are only over 2,000 people from the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop. There are only over 100 void interpretation experts, and 2 of them are at the 9th level of the void interpretation stage. Wang Xian raised his eyebrows. Let's do it. Wang Xian transmitted all the enemies within a radius of 100 kilometers into the minds of the strange demons. His figure moved and he flew towards the north. There were 2 people at level 9 of the insightful void stage in the entire battlefield. One of them was in the south while the other was in the north. The other direction was left to Ao Yao to deal with. He would deal with the one in the north. A person at level 9 of the insightful void stage would be considered a top-notch upper echelon in front of a faction like the Fire Lark. It would be heartbreaking if one of these factions were to die. Within 5 seconds he was rapidly approaching the level 9 insightful void martial artist. Oh no, there's a half-step longevity expert approaching. However, when Wang Xian approached the level 9 insightful void martial artist, his expression changed drastically. Without any hesitation, he immediately fled in the direction of Fengtian City. A half-step longevity expert from the Fire Cloud Sparrow has appeared. The moment he turned around and fled, he shouted at the same time. His voice instantly covered an area of over 1,000 kilometers. You can actually sense my arrival? Wang Xian was slightly shocked. Looking at the level 9 see-through void martial artist who was 50 kilometers away, his figure flashed. Damn it, the Fire Lark clan actually sent out a half-step Wansho martial artist at this time. The escaping level 9 see-through void martial artist had a gloomy expression. Today he was frustrated and prepared to go out and hunt some enemies. However, he did not expect to encounter a half-step Wansho. Fortunately, he had a sensing formation on him and had managed to escape in time. The distance of 50 kilometers was enough for him to avoid the pursuit of Wansho. Peng. However, just as he was deep in thought, a palm landed on his body, causing his body to freeze. This? He widened his eyes, his expression filled with shock. However, in the next second, his corpse was kept into his interspatial ring. Is it a sensing formation? Wang Xian was holding a formation compass in his hand as he sized it up curiously. There are experts from our Firelark tribe nearby. I wonder which tribe elder it is. This is a little boring. Sister Huoluoer, the moment your tribe elder appears, some of the weaker ones will dodge in advance. How are we going to kill the enemy? Chapter 1654. 1654 met the little princess again. Just as Wang Xian was studying the induction compass in his hand, a voice came from the back. Oh, there's someone there. Clang, clang, clang. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. At this moment, more than 20 figures surrounded him quickly. A murderous aura was condensed. There's no sign of the Firelark clan. They're enemies. Haha, I didn't expect to meet a stray fish. Cold murderous aura and arrogant expression charged at Wang Xian. Waves of aura locked onto him completely. Each of them was an expert at the see-through level. The weakest was at level 1 of the see-through level, while the strongest was at level 5 of the see-through level. They were all young men. Wang Xian raised his eyebrows. He turned around and looked at everyone around him. They were dressed in white and there was a fiery red flame on their chests. Each of them had an arrogant look on their faces. Among them, there were 5 to 6 young men and women dressed in fiery red clothes. In the middle of the room stood 2 to 3 young men dressed in white and a young girl dressed in fiery red clothes. Seeing that they were surrounding him, Wang Xian smiled faintly. I'm not the enemy. Wang Xian said faintly. If a cunning person wants to live, he won't say that he's our enemy because he wants to live. A young man in the center stared at Wang Xian with an indifferent expression. Do it. He ordered faintly. Haha, I'll take his head. A young man moved and slashed at Wang Xian. Ah, wait. Suddenly, the young girl standing in the middle widened her eyes and shouted loudly while staring at Wang Xian in astonishment. Big brother Wang Xian, it's you? Big brother Wang Xian. Just as Wang Xian was about to leave, a soft voice was heard. Big brother? Only a child or a little Lolita would call him that, right? Why would someone call him that? He paused and looked at the young girl with a whip as he sized her up. It felt familiar. Be careful. At this moment, the young girl shouted out loud again. Beside Wang Xian, the young man at the first level of the see-through realm was thrusting his flaming longsword at him. Wang Xian took a glance at him and an illusory Taiji diagram appeared around him. When the young man's attack landed on it, it was as though he had stabbed an indestructible rock. You are a little lowly? At this moment, Wang Xian recalled the face of the Firelark Queen. He looked at the young girl and shouted. The princess of the Firelark clan had this little lowly when she first met Feng Yuan. At that time, the little lowly had yet to reach adulthood. Now, nearly 4 years had passed and the little lowly had actually grown into a young girl. It was really true. A girl would change 18 times as she grew up. It's really you, big brother Wang Xian. When Huoluoer saw that Wang Xian recognized her, her face was filled with smiles. She immediately walked over to him. The young man who was attacking Wang Xian at the side was embarrassed. His attack was completely blocked, and the flaming longsword landed on it without leaving a single trace. When he saw that the young man knew the little princess of the Firelark clan, he withdrew the flaming longsword in embarrassment. Huoluoer, you know him? The young man standing beside Huoluoer raised his eyebrows slightly and walked over immediately. His gaze was fixed on Wang Xian. I know him. Huoluoer replied casually and walked to Wang Xian's side with a smile on her face. Brother Wang Xian, when did you come to our Firelark clan? Huoluoer asked with a face full of surprise and joy. I've been here for a few days. I didn't expect the little lowly at that time to have grown so big now. Wang Xian patted her head and said with a smile. I've grown up, yet you still pat my head. Huoluoer glared at him and said coquettishly. When Huoluoer saw Wang Xian, she indeed felt very friendly because she was with the Empress. A few years ago she was still very dependent on the Empress. That's right. She has grown up and is now on the battlefield. Wang Xian sighed slightly. The innocent little lowly who was not even aware that she was being used by others back then was now on the battlefield. That's right. I have killed quite a few enemies.
Huoluo nodded her head heavily. Huoluo, who is he? At this moment, the young man beside her asked with an unpleasant expression. Oh, this is a good friend of one of my elder sisters. Huoluo was slightly taken aback before she replied. She knew that she could not tell anyone about the Empress. Oh, is that so? Upon hearing Huoluo's words, the young man beside her smiled. I am Lai Hanshan from the Sacred Fire Tribe. Lai Hanshan looked at Wang Xian indifferently and said proudly. In his opinion, Huoluo didn't have a biological sister, so she could only be a sister in the clan. The friends of those people should be the disciples of the subsidiary forces of the Firelark clan. He didn't need to take a disciple of a subsidiary force to heart. Okay. Wang Xian nodded his head faintly. Okay. However, Lai Hanshan frowned slightly when he saw Wang Xian's attitude. A hint of displeasure appeared on his face. Brother Wang Xian, are you alone? Then come with us. We will go and kill the enemies together. At this moment, Huoluo said to Wang Xian. Come with us. We are the most elite disciples of the Sacred Flame clan, especially our young master Lai Hanshan. He is a dragon among men and has the strength of a 5th-level void interpretation. When the time comes, we can bring you to kill more enemies and obtain some rewards. A young man from the Sacred Flame clan looked at Lai Hanshan and said proudly. Follow our words and follow our orders. We can bring you along. When Lai Hanshan heard the disciple's words, the corner of his mouth curled up slightly as he said condescendingly. Hee, a dragon among men? There's no need. Little lowly, I will act on my own. I will not follow you. Wang Xian glanced at them and landed on Huoluo. How can we do that? It's so dangerous here. That voice just now was an enemy at the 9th level of the void interpretation stage. Follow us. We have a detection array so we can know the opponent's strength in advance. Huoluo looked at him and said immediately. Lai Hanshan's face turned cold when he heard his words. Huoluo, since he doesn't appreciate your kindness, let him act on his own. In this battlefield he might not even know how he died. A young man from the Sacred Flame clan glanced at Wang Xian and said. This? You guys can come together. I'm going to act now. Be careful. Huoluo wanted to say something but was interrupted by Wang Xian. He patted her head. Brother Wang Xian, give me the contact details of the communication stone plate. I'll contact you when I get back. Huoluo said immediately. All right. Wang Xian nodded and gave her the contact details. He waved his hand at her and left. Huoluo, is he very strong? Lai Hanshan saw Wang Xian leaving. He squinted his eyes and asked Huoluo. He should be very strong. Huoluo said with uncertainty. A peerless heaven's favorite? A dragon among men? At such a young age, how can he be as strong as our young master Lai Hanshan? A young man asked Huoluo. Huoluo shook her head, indicating that she didn't know. However, in the eyes of the rest it was a different answer. It was better. Hee. Lai Hanshan smiled coldly. Let's continue. I heard that we have a hunting ranking here. I want to climb up this ranking. He said to the surrounding people with a proud face, his face full of confidence. As the son of a founding general family of an empire, he had the right to be proud. Even if he ran into the core disciples of the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop. Chapter 1655. 1655 in the 1655 Arena Battle of Life and Death. Is it all settled? After Wang Xian left Huoluo's place, he came to the center. Soon, many strange demons appeared around him. Reporting to Dragon King, all of them have been eliminated. Ao Yao said respectfully. Next, stop the assassination of the disciples of the Life and Death Elixir Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop. Focus on killing those mercenaries and those who received the mission. Wang Xian hesitated for a moment before giving an order to Ao Yao and the rest. When he made his move just now, the other party was able to discover him in advance and gave Wang Xian a warning. If he were to kill the disciples of the Life and Death Elixir Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop in a frenzy now, it would definitely attract the attention of the two major forces. When that happened, there would be two scenarios. One would be for the other party to send experts over to investigate. The second was to forbid the disciples from entering the battlefield. This wasn't a good thing for him.
Therefore he planned to use a gentle method to boil frogs in warm water. First, he would kill those mercenary groups and the people who accepted the mission. These unspecialized people, even after they died, wouldn't attract the attention of the two major forces. Even if they eventually found out that these unspecialized people were killed, it would still have a deterrent effect. Those who still wanted to join the battlefield for pills, spirit stones, and weapons would have to consider their own lives. It's the Dragon King. The group of strange monsters nodded immediately. Wang Xian waved his arm and allowed them to move freely on the battlefield. He hid in the surroundings and scanned the surroundings with his yin-yang and five elements dragon eyes. Once he encountered some powerful mercenary groups, he would take action immediately. The battlefield with a radius of several thousand kilometers was already very large. The entire battlefield was filled with silence and bloodshed. It was extremely quiet. Assassinations and sneak attacks were constantly being carried out here. However, the participation of the strange demon clan completely changed the entire situation. Haha, there are finally a few fish that have taken the bait. The harvest this time is not bad. I want to change to a third-level void interpretation weapon, haha. In a corner of the fire cloud forest, a group of over 10 people looked at the corpses on the ground with grim expressions. Their faces were filled with excitement. The path of cultivation did not lack people who dared to risk their lives. And if one wanted to become stronger and stronger, there was only one way, and that was to fight. The Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop had attracted millions of people from the central continent with generous rewards. Many of them were experts. The Profound Void tier was not uncommon. For the sake of those incomparably generous pills and weapons. As long as they killed a few Profound Void tier experts, it was equivalent to them killing dozens of Profound Void tier fierce beasts and demonic beasts. Cut off their heads. A burly middle-aged man ordered his subordinates with a smile on his face. Yes, leader. Everyone immediately walked over and prepared to cut off the heads of these people. PFFF. 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 Suddenly, a piercing sound was heard. There were no corpses on the ground, but these people had already disappeared. In the air, a drop of fresh blood dripped slowly. The assassination was ongoing. 500 strange demons could assassinate a powerhouse at level 6 of the Void Interpretation realm. Such strength was extremely terrifying in the battlefield. Come back. 10 hours later, Wang Xian recalled all the strange demons. How is it? Wang Xian looked at the 500 strange demons with a smile on his face. Ao Yao swept his gaze across all his clansmen and counted the number. Dragon King, you have killed more than 20,000 people. Among them, there are more than 700 above the see-through realm. A few minutes later, Ao Yao reported directly after he finished counting. That's right. Let's go back. We will come back a day later. Wang Xian said directly. It's the Dragon King. After waiting for more people to appear on the battlefield, they would continue to kill. This was like a storage pond. When there was too much water in the pond, the water would be pumped again. His figure moved and he flew directly to the location of the Fire Cloud Mountain. After entering the city with the token, Wang Xian returned to his residence. Young Master Wang, sorry to disturb you. Just as Wang Xian entered the room, a voice was suddenly heard. Senior Fengyan, please come in. Wang Xian sensed the figure outside the door. A smile appeared on his face as he said immediately. Young Master Wang, were the elixirs from the Life and Death Elixir Workshop in Fengtian City taken away by you? Feng Yun entered the room and asked directly. That's right. Wang Xian nodded without hiding anything. Young Master Wang is really skilled. Feng Yun sighed slightly. When the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan learned about what happened in Fengtian City, they were also shocked. They couldn't rob the Life and Death Elixir Workshop in Fengtian City unless Feng Yun personally took action. Thinking of how Wang Xian had just arrived and something had happened in Fengtian City, the higher-ups of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan were somewhat suspicious. Feng Yun could not help but come over to confirm it directly. Oh right, Senior Feng Yun, I have some weapons in my hands. Can you change the weapons into elixirs? Wang Xian thought of the weapons in his interspatial ring and asked. All the weapons in his hands were obtained by assassinating those people. There were more than 20,000 people, and there were more than 500 void interpretation weapons. There were more than 20,000 weapons that were above Transcendent Level 7. If these were converted into elixirs, it would be a substantial income. Furthermore, he had obtained a substantial amount of elixirs from these people's interspatial rings. Alright, leave this to our Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. Feng Yun nodded. As one of the top clans under the empire, they had their own channels. Some of the weapons were very easy to handle. Alright. Wang Xian nodded his head and threw over a dozen interspatial rings to her. Looking at the weapons in the interspatial rings, Feng Yun was slightly surprised, especially the more than a dozen weapons of the 9th level of the see-through realm, which surprised her. However, she didn't ask any more questions and took her leave immediately. A golden belt for killing and arson. With this speed, I might be able to level up in a few months. Wang Xian watched Feng Yun leave and thought to himself. Brother Wang Xian, Brother Wang Xian. Before Wang Xian could rest, Huoluoer's voice came from outside half an hour later. Come in. Wang Xian smiled and waved his arm to open the door. Brother Wang Xian, I heard from my clansmen that you are here, so I came over to take a look. Huoluoer walked in and said with a smile. What's the matter? Wang Xian asked with a smile. I'm asking about the Empress. Huoluoer came over and asked with a smile. Your Empress is doing very well now. In a year or two at most, the two of you will be able to meet again. Wang Xian said to her. Is that so? When Sister Empress returns, she will definitely be able to shake the world and destroy the trash like the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop. Huoluoer clenched her fists and continued, Brother Wang Xian, it would be great if you came earlier. I can bring you to some fun places in the Fire Lark. Now, we only have 2 cities. However, there are some fun places in the Volcano City. Let me bring you there. Huoluoer said to him. Chapter 1656. 1656 In the 1656 Arena Battle of Life and Death. This is the lava lake in Volcano City. The lava is very mild. The center is the podium. How is it? Isn't it beautiful? In Volcano City, Wang Xian was strolling around the city with Huoluoer. The little loli brought him to the scenic spots in Volcano City and bought him some special food. It was obvious that the host was entertaining the guests. Wang Xian followed the little loli around with great interest. Princess, a group of heaven's favorites from the Sacred Flame clan sent me to look for you. They said that they have something important to discuss with you. Just as Wang Xian and Huoluoer were strolling around the city for more than 2 hours, a young man suddenly walked over and said to Huoluoer. What's the matter? Huoluoer frowned slightly and asked the young man. Princess, it should have happened yesterday. The young man also frowned slightly and replied. Don't tell me they really want to set up an arena in the Fire Cloud Forest. Huoluoer's expression was a little ugly and angry. Set up an arena? What's going on? Wang Xian heard their words and asked curiously. Big brother Wang Xian, yesterday we met a group of Heaven's Pride disciples from the Life and Death Elixir Workshop and the Saint Item Forging Workshop on the battlefield. At that time, the strength of both parties were about the same. The Sacred Fire clan was unwilling to make a move at that time. Apparently, the other party was also a little afraid of the Sacred Fire clan and didn't make a move. After that, they said a few words about putting up an arena for the life and death battle. I didn't expect them to really put up an arena on the battlefield. I can see that they are not here to help us with their full strength. They are here to test themselves and gain fame. Huoluoer said with a displeased expression. Setting up a life and death arena? Wang Xian was slightly stunned when he heard Huoluoer's displeasure. He shook his head in amusement. A life and death arena was set up for a fight between 2 superpowers. It was child's play. However, if it was a life and death battle, it was acceptable. Brother Wang Xian, let's go and take a look. Huoluoer said as she held Wang Xian's arm and gestured to the young man. The two of them came to a luxurious manor. When they entered, they saw about 1,000 young men from the Sacred Flame clan gathered together and conversing. Princess Huoluoer, you're here. Seeing Huoluoer's arrival, Lai Hans Han and the other youths immediately walked over with smiles on their faces. Lai Hans Han, why did you call me here? Huoluoer asked them with a smile. Regarding the battle, we've already made an agreement with the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Sacred Item Forging Workshops Jianghu, Life and Death Pill Workshops Shui Lian Yi, Shui Lian Hun, and the others to have a life and death battle in the arena. Those under the age of 100 can enter the arena and fight to the death. How about it? Call on the elites of your Fire Cloud Sparrow clan and we will kill their prestige together. Lai Han said to Huoluo with a smile on his face. That's not too good. Huoluo frowned slightly and said. How is it not too good? In the arena, a life and death battle can show their true strength. Lai Han said confidently. That's right. If we annihilate Breeze, it will also be a big blow to their morale. Some of the Sacred Fire Clan's youths in the surroundings echoed. When their Sacred Fire Clan came here, everyone was very clear that they would leave after half a year. However, they still had to participate in the war. Now that the arena was being held, not only would they be able to perfunctorily deal with the war, they would also be able to make a name for themselves after killing the enemy. It was killing two birds with one stone. We have already told the elders of your Fire Cloud Sparrow clan about this matter. They have agreed to this matter. For this arena battle, our Holy Fire Clan will set up the formation at the side. Huoluo, you can call on the heavens favorites of your Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. Killing the enemy on the arena is also killing the enemy. At this moment an old man walked over. His gaze paused on Wang Xian for a moment before he spoke. He had a deep impression of Wang Xian. When they first entered the territory of the Fire Cloud Sparrow tribe, the Fire Cloud Sparrow tribe directly ignored them. Instead they received a young man. Later on, based on their guesses, the Fire Cloud Sparrow tribe deliberately humiliated them. This was their dissatisfaction. This made them slightly angry. However, they didn't say anything. This matter was their Sacred Fire Clan's fault. However, they had already decided that they could leave directly after passing through the half a year's time that the Patriarch had mentioned. This time, they would treat the arena as training for their Sacred Fire Clan's disciples. Alright, then I'll inform our Fire Cloud Sparrow Clan's Heaven's chosen experts when the arena battle will begin. Huoluo could only nod her head and ask. Tomorrow we've already agreed on a time. Tomorrow's battle. Lai Han looked at Huoluo. Tomorrow I'll let Sister Huoluo see my true strength. We also want to see the strength of the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Saint Item Forging Workshop's Heaven's Pride expert. Around them, some of the Sacred Fire Clan's youths said proudly. As the family of the founding general of an empire, they would definitely enter the army. If they could become famous on this battlefield, it would be an honor for them. Yes, I believe that Lai Han will be able to massacre everyone. Huoluo nodded at him and left with Wang Xian. Princess, do you want me to inform all the heaven's favorites in our younger generation? After walking out of the manor, the young man who followed them said to Huoluo, tell brother Su Xingcan and brother Huo Mingtu about this matter. They will organize it. Huoluo instructed the young man. Yes, princess. I will inform the two young masters immediately. The young man nodded and walked in another direction immediately. Sister Huoluo, are you going to participate in the arena battle tomorrow? Wang Xian looked at Huoluo who had matured a little earlier and asked. Compared to the naive and ignorant Huoluo from 3 years ago, she had changed too much. Perhaps it was because of this battle that she matured a lot earlier. Of course I have to go and kill the enemy as well. I'm a powerhouse at the second level of the Void Interpretation stage now. Very few people of the same level are my match. Huoluo said with determination in her eyes, my two brothers were killed in this war. I want to avenge them. Wang Xian looked at her determined expression. When he heard her words, his heart was slightly moved. He didn't expect that the two sons of the Firelark Queen had actually died in this war. Little sister Huoluo, come, follow me. Wang Xian patted her head and brought her to his residence. Brother Wang Xian, why are you bringing me there? Huoluo looked at him and asked curiously. To help you improve your strength. You are still too weak at the second level of the Void Interpretation stage. Wang Xian said faintly. Chapter 1657. 1657 in the 1657 Arena Battle of Life and Death. You want to increase my strength? Huoluo followed Wang Xian to his residence with a face full of curiosity. She looked at him in puzzlement. Brother Wang Xian, my strength has just increased not long ago. Mother said that I want to increase my strength. Unless I strengthen my cultivation base, forcefully using resources to increase my strength will harm my bloodline. She continued to speak to Wang Xian. I know. Sit on the ground. Wang Xian nodded. He opened his mouth slightly and the 5 elements millstone flew out. On the 5 elements millstone, there was a ball of extremely terrifying flames. Fire soul. This ball of fire soul was being absorbed by the 5 elements millstone. Currently, the fire soul of the 9th level of the see-through realm had been reduced to the 8th level of the see-through realm. But that's enough. What is this? Fire spirit? Fire Lola slightly cross-legged on the ground, slightly wide-eyed, staring at the 5 elements mill above the terrible flame. Close your eyes and feel the fire. Wang Xian's voice rang in her ear. Lord closed her eyes at once. The 5 elements grind run. With a wave of Wang Xian's arm, the 5 elements grind into the size of 2 meters, above the 5 dragon operation. The energy of the fire divine dragons was rapidly enhanced. Under the circulation of the 5 elements millstone, the flaming soul turned into wisps of pure flames that slowly flowed towards Huoluor. Flame envelopment. Wang Xian shouted softly. A streak of flame fell from the 5 elements millstone and enveloped Huoluor. The terrifying flames in the flaming soul quickly entered Huoluor's body. Boom. The moment the pure flames landed on Huoluor's body, her profound void tier 2 strength immediately broke through. Following that, the flames intensified, and the fire divine dragon on the 5 elements millstone swayed its body, directly entering Huoluor's body. The fire divine dragon entered her body, helping her stabilize her foundation and circulate the flames. Boom. In less than 5 minutes, the aura within Huoluor's body rose once again. 4th level of the see-through realm. Huoluor already possessed the peak bloodline of the Fire Lark clan. She could directly cultivate to the half-step longevity realm. Now Wang Xian was using the fire soul as energy and the 5 elements great grinding gang to temper his body. There were no hidden dangers at all. Boom. More than 10 minutes later, another powerful aura burst out from her body. 5th level of the see-through realm. The rapidly increasing aura did not stop. If this was placed outside, even in the central continent region, it would still be extremely terrifying if others knew about such a terrifying growth rate. Half an hour later, the 6th level of the void interpretation stage. 1 hour later, the 7th level of the void interpretation stage. 3 hours later, the 8th level of the void interpretation stage. The energy of the flaming soul was depleted. Wang Xian waved his arm and kept the 5 elements grinding mill. A smile appeared on his face. Although the strength of the 8th level of the see-through realm was not very safe in the upcoming battle, it was much better than before. At this moment, Huoluor slowly opened her eyes. Her pure eyes were filled with shock. Brother Wang Xian, my strength has actually reached the 8th level of the void interpretation stage. How is this possible? She stood up slowly and felt the strong strength in her body. She stared at Wang Xian with her eyes wide open in disbelief. From the 2nd level of the void interpretation stage to the 8th level of the void interpretation stage in a total of more than 3 hours. This was simply shocking. Even though the Fire Lark tribe was one of the top races on the continent, they did not dare to imagine such a thing. Get used to your own strength. Call me when you go tomorrow. Wang Xian said directly to Huoluor. Brother Wang Xian, I'll get used to it first. Huoluor felt a little absent-minded. Looking at Wang Xian who was in front of her, she nodded her head excitedly. She walked out. When she reached the door, she couldn't help but turn her head. Brother Wang Xian, thank you. You're welcome. Wang Xian smiled and poured himself a cup of tea. The current state of the Fire Lark makes me feel a little constrained. He leaned against the chair and raised his eyebrows slightly. There were 2 longevity experts on the other party's side and only one on his side. If the other party were to really go all out, the Fire Lark clan would definitely suffer a huge loss. Let's take it slow and raise my strength to the longevity realm as soon as possible. Wang Xian thought to himself. Brother Wang Xian. The next morning, Huoluor's voice sounded from outside. Wang Xian opened his eyes and opened the door. Have we set off? Everyone has gathered at the entrance. Let's go over. Huoluor looked at Wang Xian with a smile. Alright, let's go and take a look. Today we shall watch our little beauty Huoluor slaughter everyone. Wang Xian smiled and instantly came to her side. Hee brother, no one knows that you helped me to improve my strength. Today I want to kill those damn guys. Huoluoer held his arm affectionately and said excitedly. Hee hee, the little lowly from back then has grown up. Wang Xian stroked her head. After helping Huoluoer improve her strength yesterday, she had become even more affectionate to him today. Humph. Huoluoer smiled and grabbed Wang Xian's arm as they walked towards the city gate. Ah, who is that young man? Why is our little princess so intimate with him? I don't know. I've never seen that young man before. Is he a disciple of the Song sect or the Fire sect? I hope this fellow has some powerful treasures, our little princess. As they walked on the road, the people in Volcano City were all shocked when they saw their little princess holding onto the arm of a young man so intimately. Ha! When Huoluoer, Wang Xian, and the rest arrived at the city gate, the young disciples of the Sacred Fire clan and the Fire Lark clan looked over. Upon seeing this scene, many people were shocked. Lai Hanshan raised his eyebrows. This made him, who had a good impression of the Fire Lark, a little unhappy. Sister Huoluoer. Sister Huoluoer. Two young men walked up and looked at Wang Xian. Brother Su Xingcan, brother Huamingtu. Huoluoer immediately greeted the two young men with a smile. This is. The two young men looked at Wang Xian and asked Huoluoer curiously. This is brother Wang Xian. He's from another place. Huoluoer introduced him. Hello brother. I'm Su Xingcan. I'm Huamingtu. The two of them cupped their hands and greeted Wang Xian. Wang Xian. Wang Xian swept his gaze across the two of them. Both of them were at the 5th level of the see-through realm. They should be the leading figures among the younger generation of the Fire Lark clan. Princess Huoluoer is here. Let's go. The voice of the Holy Fire clan could be heard from the front. Let's go. Everyone nodded and immediately flew towards the center of the battlefield. Brother Wang Xian, Su Xingcan is the most outstanding disciple of our Fire Lark Song sect. His father died in this war. Huamingtu is the most outstanding disciple of our Fire Lark clan. He is a disciple of our Fire sect. A few Heaven's Pride disciples were assassinated by masked assassins. Chapter 1658. 1658 Conspiracy 1658. A group of over 3,000 people flew towards the location of the battlefield. At the back, some people who had received the news followed behind. There were over 20,000 people, and there were also quite a number of experts at the 7th or 8th level of the see-through realm. Huoluoer introduced the outstanding disciples of the Fire Lark to Wang Xian. Wang Xian nodded his head slightly at the side. The entire Fire Lark clan had suffered heavy losses in this war. Many Heaven's favorites and experts had fallen. The number of deaths at the insightful emptiness realm had reached 1 to 2,000. In the past, there were more than 20 cities attached to the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. Now there were only 2 remaining. The number of deaths had reached more than 100 million. This was the terrifying aspect of a war between powerful factions. Wang Xian scanned his surroundings. There were only 2 level 9 insightful emptiness realm experts from the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan who had followed them. This time, there was no need for the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan to send any experts to follow them in the arena that was agreed upon between the Holy Fire clan and the 2 major factions. It was entirely the Holy Fire clan that was in charge. The 2 major factions were somewhat fearful of the Holy Fire clan. Hence, there was an 80% chance that nothing else would happen in this arena. This was because the 2 major factions did not dare to completely infuriate the Holy Fire clan. They were afraid that they would really join forces. At that time, it wouldn't be of much benefit to the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop. Therefore, even if it was a life and death battle, it wouldn't erupt into a large-scale battle. Not many experts from the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan came. This time's arena battle is a tacit understanding. It's completely a competition between disciples. If we use this opportunity to make a move, isn't it? However, at this moment in Fengtian City, thousands of kilometers away, an old man from the Holy Item Forging Workshop frowned and said to the people in front of him, "War is always cruel. If the people of the Demon God tribe didn't come, we naturally wouldn't dare to do so. However, now that they have arrived, we will let the Demon God tribe pin down the Sacred Fire tribe. We will use any means to deal with the people of the Fire Cloud Sparrow tribe. The winner is the king." A supreme elder of the Life and Death Pill Workshop said coldly. "I agree too. Do the Fire Cloud Sparrow tribe really think that we will be afraid of them if we call on the Sacred Fire tribe? They can find people. We have stood for 70,000 to 80,000 years. Naturally, we can find help. A supreme elder of the Holy Item Forging Workshop nodded in a deep voice. His eyes were filled with killing intent. They have a detection array in their hands, so it's not convenient for us to take action. We can't send too many profound Void Tier 9 experts, so we can only let the masked assassin organization take action. An elder from the Life and Death Pill Workshop said in a deep voice. Sure, but we have to inform the people of the Demon God tribe in advance. The Supreme Elder from the Holy Item Forging Workshop said. Leave this matter to us. Let them wait for a while. Hehe. The two Grand Elders of the Life and Death Pill Workshop revealed killing intent in their eyes. In the past few days, their Life and Death Pill Workshop had suffered heavy losses, and the enemy was the Fire Cloud Sparrow tribe. They naturally had to return an eye for an eye and blood for blood. The so-called arena battle was built on the foundation that both sides were equal in strength. The two major forces were wary of the Sacred Fire tribe. However, with the Demon God tribe they could definitely fight against them. A cold expression appeared on the faces of the experts from the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Biological Forging Workshop. The corners of their lips curled up slightly. Wang Xian, Huoluoer, and the rest flew towards the center of the battlefield. Soon they arrived at the center. When they arrived, there were already people from the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop. There were around 30,000 to 40,000 people standing in the opposite position. When they saw them arriving, a ferocious smile appeared on their faces. There are 5 experts at level 9 of the Void Interpretation stage and 13 experts at level 8 of the Void Interpretation stage. Huoluoer took out the detection compass in her hand and her voice entered Wang Xian's ears. Haha Jiang Xinkong Shui Lianhuan, you guys are still keeping your promise. Lai Hanshan's loud laughter rang out. His gaze swept towards the two young men at the forefront of the two major factions, and a proud expression appeared on their faces. A confrontation between heaven's favorites, no one would submit to anyone. Hehe Lai Hanshan, your Sacred Flame clan getting involved in this muddy water is not a choice that you know very well. In the center, a handsome young man with a compass in his hand stared coldly at Lai Hanshan as he spoke in a dense tone. Jiang Xinkong, don't be so arrogant. I Su Xingsan have already killed 29 profound void martial experts from your Life and Death Pill Workshop and Holy Item Forging Workshop. Today I will use you to gather 30. Su Xingsan stared at Lai Hanshan with a face full of hatred as he roared in a low voice. Life and Death Pill Workshop, Holy Item Forging Workshop, prepare to die. Furious voices came from the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan one after another. Hehe, you want us to die? The ones who deserve to die are all of you. In the Life and Death arena I Shui Lianyi will go up. Who dares to come up? A beautiful woman with delicate features flew directly towards the center. With a wave of his arm, an array formation instantly rose. An array formation was a scouting array formation. Anyone under the age of 100 could enter the array formation. In the Battle of the Chosen, they had already made an agreement with the Sacred Fire clan to fight anyone under the age of 100. I'll do it, Shui Lianyi. Even if you're a woman, I'll still behead you today. Huaming too saw the most outstanding disciple of the Life and Death Pill Workshop appear. He didn't show the slightest fear and directly rushed over. Kill him, kill this bitch of the Life and Death Pill Workshop. Goddess Shui Lianyi, kill that damned fellow. Let the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan know the consequences of offending us. Kill him. Huaming too entered the arena, and angry shouts rang out from the surroundings. The distance between the two sides was 3,000 meters, and waves of killing intent flooded towards the other side. They looked at the peerless genius of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan and the genius of the Life and Death Pill Workshop, and all of them shouted loudly. Now the two factions had entered a life and death situation. Kill? Both of them were at the 5th level of the Profound Void Martial stage. Without the slightest hesitation they charged forward. Every move was fatal. It was a life and death battle. Brother Huaming too, you can do it. Huoluoer, who was at the side, cheered with a nervous expression. Life and Death Pill Workshop, Holy Item Forging Workshop, come and accept your death. At this moment, a young man from the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan flew to the center, and the aura of a rank 3 profound void martial artist exploded out. It's Huaming Shan, the core disciple of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. I'll kill you. With an angry shout, a rank 3 profound void martial artist disciple from the Holy Item Forging Workshop flew over and attacked Huamingshan. Holy Fire Clan, rank 4 profound void martial artist, Lai Hanliang who will die. A disciple from the Holy Fire Clan flew out and shouted arrogantly. The disciples of the Fire Cloud Sparrow Clan and the Holy Fire Clan rushed over one by one. Instantly, killing intent condensed. The area within 3 kilometers of the center became the battlefield of the life and death arena. Ha! Holy Fire Clan, leave it to us. At this moment, a wild laughter came from the back. This made the Firelark Clan and the Sacred Fire Clan all slightly surprised. Chapter 1659. 1659 Huoluor made her move. Bang bang bang. A group of more than 1,000 people were led by 2 young men dressed in black. The 2 of them held a huge hammer in their hands, and their faces were filled with wanton smiles. The group of people flew directly to the side of the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop, proudly glancing at everyone from the Fire Cloud Sparrow Clan and the Holy Fire Clan across from them. Who are they? They are from the Nine God Empire. They are from the Nine God Empire's Demon God Tribe. Hiss, why are the people from the Demon God Tribe here? What are they trying to do? Could it be that the Demon God Tribe is helping the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop? Looking at the more than 1,000 people who were filled with an invincible aura and arrogance, everyone from the Fire Cloud Sparrow's side had a huge change in expression. Even the Sacred Fire Clan's people had solemn expressions on their faces. Why did the Nine God Empire's Demon God Tribe suddenly participate in this war? What did they mean by this? Haha, a 4th level void interpretation fellow. Which disciple of our Demon God Tribe killed him? The 1,000 plus people's gazes swept across the surroundings. The black-clothed youth with long hair who stood at the front laughed loudly as he looked at Lai Hanliang and shouted loudly. Senior brother, leave the 4th level of the profound void to me. A youth standing at the front moved and directly flew towards Lai Hanliang. He also held a huge black hammer in his hand as a violent aura was instantly unleashed. From the moment he came up to the moment he attacked, it had only been 2 seconds. He did not hesitate at all and was extremely domineering. 2 young masters of the Moyuan clan, you came quite quickly. Shui Lianhuan looked at the 2 youths leading the Devil God Tribe and greeted them with a smile. Haha, since I have nothing to do, I came early. The 2 youths from the Devil God Tribe laughed and said indifferently. Devil Yuan General, Devil Yuan Bei, will the Sacred Fire Tribe be handed over to you? Lai Hanshan looked at the 2 and asked with a trace of fear in his eyes. The Sacred Flame Tribe will be handed over to us. We from the Demon God Tribe want to see how powerful the disciples of the founding general of the Phoenix Dynasty are. A strong battle intent was revealed from General Mo Yuan's body. With the strength of the 2 brothers, the Sacred Flame Tribe is probably not your match. Lai Hanshan smiled and looked at the position opposite him. Oh no, the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop actually invited people from the Demon God Tribe. General Mo Yuan Bei, 2 of the top 5 disciples of the Demon God Tribe. Tens of thousands of people from the Fire Cloud Sparrow Tribe came to watch. When they saw the people from the Demon God Tribe, their faces were filled with embarrassment and solemnity. Now that they were here, it meant that they would help the 2 big battles to fight against them. These were people from the Demon God Tribe of the 9 Gods. They were a terrifying force that was not weaker than the Sacred Fire Tribe. They were even more powerful than the Sacred Fire Tribe. To a certain extent, they even represented the 9 God Empire. This was because the 9 gods were united. I never expected the 2 major factions to invite the Demon God Tribe. Next, the Fire Cloud Sparrow Tribe will be in even more trouble. If they invite the tribe leader of the Demon God Tribe to act, the Fire Cloud Sparrow Tribe might be exterminated. Everyone from the Sacred Fire Tribe had ugly expressions. The 2 major factions might be afraid of the Sacred Fire Tribe, but the 9 God Empire's Demonic God Tribe would definitely not be afraid of them. I never expected our patriarch to invite the experts of the Demonic God Tribe. Is the Demonic God Tribe going to join the battlefield to help us kill the Fire Cloud Sparrow Tribe? Haha, if they can invite helpers, our Life and Death Pill Workshop and Holy Item Forging Workshop can also invite helpers. The experts of the demonic god tribe are able to deal with the sacred fire clan, and we will be able to crush the fire cloud sparrow clan once again. Compared to the fire cloud sparrow clan, who had an ugly and solemn expression, the disciples of the Life and Death Pill Workshop and Holy Item Forging Workshop had excited expressions on their faces. With the help of the demonic god tribe, it was only a matter of time before they annihilated the fire cloud sparrow clan. Disciples of the sacred fire clan, come out and face your death. At this moment, more than 10 disciples of the demonic god tribe flew out and stared at the sacred fire tribe members with battle intent. Compete with the disciples of the demonic god tribe. An elder of the sacred fire tribe standing at the front frowned and said indifferently, "It's an elder." Some disciples of the sacred fire tribe immediately nodded and went up to welcome him. Ah! At this moment, a scream came from the front of the arena. Everyone looked over. Oh no, our elite disciple of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan has been killed. Hiss, that guy from the Sacred Item Forging Workshop actually has a full set of insightful void tier equipment, and his weapon is even higher than his own realm. Ah, good kill. The beasts of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan will be killed one by one. Lai Qing is awesome. An embarrassed voice came from the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan, while the other side cheered excitedly. Haha, trash of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan, come on, let's continue. Who wants to fight me, Jiang Xingkong? In front of the Holy Item Forging Workshop, a burly young man stepped forward and stared at Su Xingsan, obviously indicating his opinion. I'll do it. Su Xingsan stepped forward, exuding an indomitable aura. Hee, it's my turn now. The Fire Cloud Sparrow clan seems to be empty. Su Xingsan rushed forward. The Life and Death Pill Workshop's Shui Lianhuan walked forward with a face full of smiles. Haha, the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan is empty. No one is a match for our Miss Shui Lianhuan. Fire Cloud Sparrow clan's trash. Our Miss Shui Lianhuan makes a move. Do you dare to have anyone fight against us? We've killed quite a few of the Fire Cloud Sparrow's heaven's favorites. There's almost none left, ha. The people from the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop mocked loudly. The Fire Cloud Sparrow clan's people looked at Shui Lianhuan, who was walking forward, and when they heard their mockery, their expressions became somewhat unsightly. Some of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan's people looked in the direction of the Sacred Fire clan, asking their people to make a move. Let me. Lai Hanshan stared at Shui Lianhuan and said coldly. Lai Hanshan of the Sacred Fire clan, right? I told you, your Sacred Fire clan will be taken over by our demonic god tribe. Mo Yuan locked his gaze on Lai Hanshan and said coldly. This caused Lai Hanshan, Fire Skylark, and the others' expressions to change slightly. Hee, don't tell me that your Fire Skylark clan has no one under 100 years old? If one isn't enough, then you can have a few more. Shui Lianhuan stood in the air and stared provocatively at everyone in the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. Below 100 years old, there are only 2 5th-level Void Interpretation cultivators, Young Master Su Xingsan and Young Master Hua Mingtu. They are being harassed by Jiang Xingkong and Shui Lianyi. This. The Fire Cloud Sparrow clan members looked at each other, their expressions ugly. In terms of overall strength, they were slightly weaker than the two great factions. I want to kill you. At this moment, Hua Luo'er's figure moved, directly flying forward. What? Princess, you can't. Princess, you're not her match. Chapter 1660. 1660 in one move. When the Fire Cloud Sparrows saw Hua Luo'er flying over, everyone's faces were filled with shock, and they hurriedly shouted out. The Fire Cloud Sparrow's 2 profound Void Tier 8 experts' expressions changed slightly, wanting to directly block her. However, Hua Luo'er's speed caused the 2 of them to be slightly stunned. The Fire Cloud Sparrow clan's newly matured princess. Haha, do you know how your 2 elder brothers died? Seeing Hua Luo'er rushing over, Shui Lianhuan revealed a mocking expression and laughed mockingly. Princess Hua Luo'er, come back quickly. Behind them, the members of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan roared with extremely ugly expressions. If their princess was killed here, it would be a huge blow to the morale of their Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. Princess, retreat. In the center of the battle, Su Xingsan shouted loudly. You dare to be distracted while fighting with me? Opposite him, Jiang Xingkong shouted coldly and smashed the huge hammer in his hand. After I kill you, All those under 100 years old from the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop can come and challenge me." Hearing the exclamations of her clansmen, Huoluor didn't waver at all. There was even a hint of excitement on her small face. "You still wet behind the ears, little girl, die." Hearing Huoluor's words, a hint of contempt appeared on Shui Lianhuan's face. She moved and directly attacked. The target was pointed at her head. "Haha, the princess of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan is going to be killed in an instant. I found that the princess and prince of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan are all idiots. Once this princess dies, all the princesses and princes will die. Ah." Seeing Shui Lianhuan make his move, everyone in the Life and Death Pill Workshop revealed excited expressions. Shui Lianhuan was one of the most outstanding disciples of their Life and Death Pill Workshop. Wasn't he instantly killed when he fought against a little princess who was still wet behind the ears? Boom. Huoluor looked at Shui Lianhuan, who was charging over. She held a magic staff that looked like a phoenix in her hand and gently waved it forward. A flame appeared out of thin air around this most outstanding female disciple of the Life and Death Pill Workshop. What? Shui Lianhuan's expression changed slightly as he felt the terrifying flames around him. Blue light surged around his body and the sound of raging waves churned within his body. Boom. However, the flames directly covered him. "This is impossible." Shui Lianyi screamed in terror and despair as she felt her body being rapidly melted. Bang bang. A broken staff and a charred corpse landed on the ground and collided. What? How is this possible? Her strength? How can our princess's strength be so strong? Shocked voices came from the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop. The people of the Demon God tribe also looked at Huoluor, their eyes filled with shock. Even the members of the Fire Cloud Sparrow tribe could not believe it. Their princess had just come of age, and her strength had reached the second rank of the insightful Void Realm. She was already at the top of the Fire Cloud Sparrow tribe. But now she had killed a 5th rank insightful Void Realm expert in one move. Her strength was at the 6th rank of the insightful Void Realm. How did their princess suddenly advance to the 6th rank of the insightful Void Realm? She has just come of age and is already at the 6th rank of the insightful Void Realm? Even the geniuses of the Empire are only SOSO. Mo Yuan Bei frowned, staring at Huoluor with a face full of surprise as he sighed. Life and Death Pill Workshop, Holy Item Forging Workshop, all of you young disciples, come at me together. Today I will kill all of you. Huoluor held her staff tightly, her gaze revealing a chill as she spoke to the two great factions. Her somewhat tender face and voice caused people to feel somewhat dazed. Damn it, why is this Huoluor's strength suddenly so terrifying? The elders of the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop looked at each other with slightly embarrassed expressions. They had thought that with the demonic god tribe resisting the sacred fire clan, the disciples of the two forces would be able to easily suppress the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan. They had not expected that a monstrous princess would suddenly appear. Attack. The elders of the two major factions made a decision in their hearts and nodded slowly. An elder slowly raised his arm and released a special signal. Princess. At that moment, an elder from the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan flew directly towards Huoluor's position. Elder Xianhua. Seeing the elder fly over, Huoluor's face was filled with smiles as she narrowed her eyes. She was like a good student waiting for her parents to praise her. Elder Xianhua is also here. Who is he? At the Firelark clan's location, some people showed a hint of doubt on their faces. Wang Xian, who had been standing there the whole time, raised his eyebrows slightly when he saw the old man flying over. A strange light immediately flashed in his eyes. All of you must die. On the opposite side, a few elders from the Life and Death Elixir Workshop and Holy Item Forging Workshop who saw this scene showed a sinister expression on their faces. Some disciples from the two major forces held their weapons in their hands. Following that, the battle was about to break out. Princess Huoluor, you're simply too awesome. Elder Xianhua flew over with an amiable smile on his face. That's because of brother Wang Xian. It's him? Go to hell, little princess. Huoluor did not sense that something was wrong at all. She spoke with a smile on her face. However, before she could finish her words, Xianhua's long and amiable voice interrupted her. At the same time, a dagger was stabbed towards Huoluor. This caused Huoluor to be slightly stunned. While she was in a daze, fear appeared in her eyes. Masked Assassin Organization. However, at this moment, a sound that penetrated through flesh and blood could be heard. Wang Xian's figure appeared behind Elder Xianhua in an instant and asked calmly. Ah! All of a sudden, a scream came from the position of the Fire Lark clan. Attack! Kill everyone from the Fire Lark clan. In an instant the scene changed. The roar of an elder from the Life and Death Elixir workshop spread across hundreds of kilometers. What? How dare you attack? Damn it! You went back on your words and sent assassins to ambush us. Aren't you afraid that our Sacred Fire clan will fight to the death with you? Everyone from the Sacred Fire clan had a drastic change in expression as they roared furiously. This life and death arena battle had been agreed upon by their Sacred Fire clan and the two major factions. Now, the other party was actually using this place to ambush them. The masked assassin organization had already entered the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan and killed over 1,000 people in an instant. Haha, leave the Sacred Fire clan to our demonic god tribe. At this moment, a loud laugh came from behind. 5 black figures flew over quickly. 5 rank 9 profound void martial experts from the demonic god tribe. All disciples of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan, be careful. There are masked assassins among us. At this moment, the elders of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan shouted with an extremely ugly expression. They had never expected that the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop would set up an ambush in this arena. When the demonic god tribe appeared, we should have thought of this. The 2 elders of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan shouted with an ugly expression. The sudden riot caused everyone to not notice Princess Huoluor's side in the middle. Chapter 1661. 1661 was instantly killed. Not good, we're in trouble. We have people from the masked assassin organization. The sudden attack of the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop and the appearance of the masked assassin caused the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan to fall into chaos. Before the Demon God tribe's 5 rank 9 void interpretation experts arrived, the difference in strength between the two sides was not completely overwhelming. However, due to the existence of the masked assassin organization, the Fire Cloud Sparrow tribe's formation could not be organized. If the clansmen beside him were from the masked assassin organization, he could be ambushed at any time. Now that the Demon God tribe's experts had arrived and restrained the Sacred Fire tribe, the Fire Cloud Sparrow tribe did not have the strength to resist. This was because the main force this time was the Sacred Fire tribe. Demon God tribe, are you guys going to participate in this war? The Fire Cloud Sparrow tribe elder's expression was incomparably ugly as he shouted at the 5 insightful Void Realm experts of the Demon God tribe who were flying over. Haha, what does our Demon God tribe want to do? There's no need to explain to you guys. We are participating in this war, so what? The Demon God tribe elder in the middle shouted arrogantly. He did not put the Fire Cloud Sparrow tribe in his eyes at all. Not to mention the others, just the strength of their Demon God tribe wasn't weaker than the Fire Cloud Sparrow tribe. Naturally, they wouldn't show any weakness. Prepare to retreat. The 4 rank 9 profound void realm experts of the Sacred Fire tribe looked around with extremely unsightly expressions and said to all the disciples, "Retreat? Can you retreat?" The experts of the Demon God tribe laughed loudly. Not a single member of the Fire Cloud Sparrow tribe is left alive. Cold killing intent could be heard from both sides. Figures quickly flew over. Although none of these people were too strong, there were around 500 to 600 people at the profound void realm on the left and right sides. Seeing the 20,000 people charging over from the sides, the faces of the Fire Cloud Sparrow tribe members were filled with despair. The detection array could detect people who were stronger than them, but the people coming from the flanks were not that strong. The detection array was extremely precious to begin with, and only a small number of people had it. The people of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan who were at the 8th or 9th level of the Profound Void tier held the detection array so they would not be on guard against them. Because the other party did not have an expert who was half a step away from longevity. This resulted in the current situation. Haha, I'll exterminate you all today. It won't be long before your Fire Cloud Sparrow clan disappears from the transcendental continent. The elders of the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop held weapons in their hands, and their faces revealed savage expressions. They had invited the demonic god tribe in order to exterminate the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan as soon as possible. It's over, their people are many times more than ours. Oh no, will our Fire Cloud Sparrow tribe's experts come to rescue us? This group of despicable fellows, they are actually ambushing us. Furious and despairing expressions were emitted from the Fire Cloud Sparrow tribe's mouths. They scanned their surroundings warily and shouted loudly. Fight! The two Fire Cloud Sparrow elders looked at each other. They gritted their teeth and roared loudly. Kill! Even if we have to die, we have to kill one. Killing one is worth it. Killing two is a profit. Everyone from the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan clenched their fists tightly and prepared to die. Everyone from the masked assassin organization, wait for my order and immediately attack. Ah! At this moment, the elder from the Life and Death Elixir Workshop laughed out loud. To be able to kill more than 20,000 members of the Firelark clan this time was a great morale boost for them. Upon hearing the words of the elder from the Life and Death Elixir Workshop, everyone from the Firelark clan looked extremely embarrassed. They didn't know if they were teammates or assassins. Brother Wang Xian. At this moment, Huoluo widened her eyes as she stared blankly at Elder Xianhua, who was pierced through by Wang Xian's arm and the enemies around her. She shouted softly. Wang Xian stood in the sky. The face of Elder Xianhua, who was pierced through, began to change. Clearly, it was the change of the masked assassin organization. He scanned his surroundings and saw that the enemies on both sides and in front of him had already rushed over. A smile appeared on his face. Come, little sister Huoluo. Today I will let you see what instant kill is. Wang Xian gently pushed away the corpse of the masked killer in front of him and said to Huoluo calmly. Huoluo looked at Wang Xian in a daze. 5 elemental grindstone. Wang Xian touched her head and his body shook. His Dharma idol, 5 elemental grindstone, was instantly unleashed. With his human dragon unity, he could unleash the terrifying strength of a half-step into the realm of longevity even in his human form. At the same time he opened his mouth and his weapon, the 5 elements millstone, flew into the sky instantly. Boom, boom, boom. In an instant, a terrifying pressure spread out in a radius of 100 kilometers. The entire sky turned dark in an instant. A voice that sounded like a millstone was heard in the sky. What? What's going on? Are the half-step longevity realm experts of the Life and Death Forging Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop also hiding around? As they felt the changes in the world, everyone's expressions changed drastically. Shocked and terrified voices came from the Firelark clan. 2 gray millstones of the 5 elements floated in the sky. Each of them had a terrifying radius of 20 kilometers. The 2 millstones covered an area of 40 kilometers. The sky couldn't be seen at all. All the members of the Fire Cloud Sparrow clan were in despair. However, this sudden change also stunned everyone in the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop. The elders of the 2 large forces looked at the terrifying millstones that had suddenly appeared in a daze, and their faces were filled with shock. It seemed that there were no half-step longevity experts from their 2 forces. Who is it? Someone from the 2 large factions. Everyone's gazes, including the Demon God tribe's 5 rank 9 profound void realm experts that had just flown over, all looked over in shock. Oh, that is? Everyone saw Huoluo and a youth standing together in the middle of the sky. A terrifying energy connected the terrifying millstone in the sky to that youth. It seems to be one of our people. Su Xingzan and Huo Mingtu of the Firelark tribe looked at the young man beside Huoluo in shock and muttered. That is. However, at this moment, the 5 experts of the Demon God tribe who were hovering in the sky recognized Wang Xian instantly. It's him, this. The 5 elders of the Demon God tribe revealed a hint of fear in their eyes. A few days ago, when they were chasing after the flaming soul, they were sent flying 50 kilometers away by this figure and were severely injured. They took 2 days to recover from their injuries. Originally, they had followed the disciples of the Demon God tribe here today. It was because their injuries had yet to fully recover that they were a little late. But they had just recovered and they met this person again? You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference. as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.